Okay.
Yo,
DJ, put on those big-ass size 13s and kick it for the homies.
God, I wish I had the rights to Funky Cold Medina.
I just remember
Funky
that.
Cold Medina.
Solid.
All right, once again, it's going to get loud in here.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, no way. Oh my God. No way. Oh my God.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 108.1 of 1 million of the Serial Chillers podcast. As always, I ask, how goes it? Hello, Greg.
I don't even want to.
Well, then why don't you tell him, Greg?
I fucked up.
I don't agree that you fucked up. I think we share responsibility,
Well, okay.
but you have the title.
Yeah, I'm a shit producer. But y'all knew that about me.
But you're a great engineer.
Wonderful engineer. No, so we had a small technical difficulty, and by that I mean we recorded for an hour without our microphones.
It was 47 minutes, but yes.
It's practice.
I apologize.
Call that a dry run.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go back through it. Some of these things that seem just incredibly dark and painful, these guys are not going to respond to that hard because they've already heard it. But only up to question number 4. So after question 4, we're going to kind of get back into a rhythm of these guys going, huh? And it'll be fun again. So Bobby has already scored on some questions. We're just going to say that. We'll get him his points as he comes. And then Darren, plenty of time. Those are our guests today. We'll move on to some business real quick here. You guys know how the show works. Let me explain it for anybody that doesn't. Each week, I sit down with old friends, new friends, good friends, and bad friends to tell the story of an infamous serial killer, something true crime, dark, creepy, unsolved, or otherwise mysterious. If you have questions about questions, make sure to ask questions, because I cannot answer questions about questions if you never ask questions. I know for a fact that you don't have any questions. So, welcome to and let's play the Serial Chillers podcast. I know why the mics were on, because Greg was scared of the X-Files fuck up from the first round.
The truth unfolds. He's like, it's been long enough, I'll tell him.
Shit producer.
Okay, today's killer. Tell me, have you guys heard of Peter Kürten?
A little bit.
A little. I know something of his
like
early
4
life.
questions worth.
A glimpse. Okay, so
I know a thing or two.
For the audience out there who does enjoy playing the game along, we're going to run through this as if they didn't answer it. Like I said, we'll give out to the points to the contestant that actually got it. But for you guys, question number 1, in what year was Peter Kürten born? Closest to the answer gets 250 points. 1,000 if you can nail it. Peter Kürten win. If I'm not mistaken, Bobby said...
I said 1947.
47. Darren said 1987.
87.
And Bobby took 250 points on that question because Peter Kürten was born May 26th, 1883. And with that, I will introduce our first guest, returning. I don't know how many times you've been on, do you?
Actually, about 7.
7?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, if you count the Halloween episodes. And stuff like that.
He's been on. He's told some stories on the side and shit. Okay, welcome back, Bobby.
Yeah, it's your boy Hardcore B3R. You can check me out on a lot of stuff, but I'll talk about that later. And I would like to say one more thing. I would have failed that question again. Like, I did not remember.
Yeah, I totally forgot.
I was like, no.
We did have one episode we had to re-record completely, and we only brought back one of the 2 guests that were on it. And he almost lost when he came back. He ended up winning, but he did almost lose. And he had done the full show.
For all you hardcore fans out there, tell us which one it was to win absolutely no prize.
Yeah,
Was
exactly.
he a bad friend?
I do usually look at him pretty hard when I talk about the bad friends.
Hint,
As you guys have probably noticed by now, too, any of our social media handles generally are going to be right below the contestant. If it's not one, they don't want you to find them. So Bobby's can be found below, and he told you hardcore.
And I also did say in the other missing episode now is that I am sorry for how I look.
So, yes, welcome back, Bobby. And for the first time here in the studio for anything, welcome my good buddy Darren. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, I made good on that list. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
so when
yeah,
you run
yeah.
through
So he
that,
was one of the good
I got nervous.
friends.
I was like, whoa.
Which friend am I?
Oh shit!
You're
No,
one of the
no.
old ones, and it's just because of age.
Again, I'm excited. I'm excited to be here tonight with you guys. Been a fan for a while. So and just a dad out here, just living the dream on your podcast. I'm excited.
See, you started as a fan and you wound up as a contestant. Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Yeah, check out last week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Eddie and Sluis came on, and again, these guys here in studio today, they were fans, but they're also friends before. We've had many people on the show who, I mean, look, it can't work out with everybody. I know a lot of people have been like, oh, I'd love to be on the show. There are a lot of humps we must get over. Okay, and we've got the business. Again, the title of the book, I cannot tell you yet because it is an answer to a question later, but it is by Dr. Karl Berg and mostly some Wikipedia. Social media, guys, TikTok, Instagram, we are at Serial Chillers Podcast. You can get merchandise on a merch store that doesn't exist. We don't know yet. We'll tell you. You'll know. Trust me. It'll be there by the time you're hearing this. Serial Chillers, or patreon.com/Serial Chillers Podcast. You guys know the deal by now. You can give as little as $1 a month, which will get you a shout out on the show. You'll hear those at the end.
Yes.
You can get a book out of our true crime library now. That is a tier you can give at. There's a bunch of merchandise that can be going. I don't know if it'll still be open by the time you guys hear this, but there's a limited tier where you get a vintage sticker pack at $5. So if you guys give it that limited tier, I think it's open to the first 20 people who get it. In addition to getting the stickers that are new that you'll be getting delivered for the $5 tier, you'll also get a vintage sticker pack that will come separately from the Serial Chiller Studio.
Can I cash up for this for you?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, $5,000.
What?
So there's a premium, buddy. They're important. And in other news, somebody stole SerialChillersPodcast.com. That no longer belongs to us. We were on hiatus for 3 years. You know what's funny is I owned it for 2 years. And then in the third year, it was like, hey, it's about to renew. And I was like, fuck, I don't want to pay for it again. Like, we're not going to use it.
It's like the league when Taco bought DallasCowboys.com
Yes,
when it
yes.
lapsed and then sold it back to him.
What's
to Jerry
funny
Jones.
is Taco
Genius.
didn't do it, but that's a real story. Some random dude just bought DallasCowboys.com during a lapse and sold it back to him for an undisclosed amount.
That's brilliant.
Damn.
Yep. But, yeah.
They made fun of that in South Park, actually.
I lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
Started talking about Taco in the league. And SerialChillersPod.com is now the website. All of that information I just gave you will be linked there somewhere. Go check it out, guys. Give if you can. And if you gave before and you'd still like to give, odds are your debit card information has expired by now. And all of the old tiers don't exist anymore. So go select one of the new tiers. There's a $1, $5, $10, $20, $30, $50, $100, and $10,000 tier. The $10,000 tier, we take you to Disneyland. So
I've never been.
check it out. Well, give us $10,000. We'll
Dog.
take you.
Okay,
I only-
We'll
I've
plan
only-
it
some
and
stuff around.
everything.
I
Yeah.
went once when I was like 4.
See, the way my account works.
Was it fun?
is I got a checking and I
Oh.
got a savings. Okay, so
That was
as you
really
guys
nice.
know, lastly, again, you guys, welcome back.
Yeah.
Yes, we did it before, but I can hear you now. Peter Kürten, born May 26th, 1883, into a very poor family in Mulheim, Germany. Near the Rhine River. Upstate New York, fuck you. European names, fuck you. I can't do this anymore. I can't pronounce any of them.
Maybe we'll get it dubbed.
Yeah.
If somebody gives to the $10,000 tier in addition to Disneyland, we'll get the show dubbed by people who know what they're talking
It's
about.
like, yes, he was in Staffordshire, Bob's your uncle, in it. And so, he is born into a family of 13 children. 2 of the children would die at a young age, so really just 11. He's chilling. He's just got to hang out with 11 kids. And boy, the activities they'll get into. As we'll often say on the show, Peter never really stood a chance. As you guys early on know, he doesn't. He was born into an impoverished family as one of 11 children to extremely alcoholic parents in 1883, who all lived in a one-bedroom apartment. One bedroom meaning one room, not like, oh, this is a nice one-bedroom apartment where the bedroom is separate from the other living and cooking and
Studio.
dining and bathing and shitting areas. No.
Whoa, you think they had indoor shitting areas?
I'm not saying that it was indoor, but there might have been a hole in the floor somewhere.
Highly doubt.
Oh, dude, that's how the Black Plague happened.
I was gonna ask. All right, now, do you think Mulheim, right?
Mulheim.
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 You think it's like a city? Like, is it a
Yeah,
suburb?
it's
Is it a country.
Mulheim and the Rhine is what it's called,
Huh.
and it translates to Mulheim near the river.
Got it.
So it's probably booze,
Near the
bro.
yeah.
Got it.
But the city is referred to as Mulheim and Rhine, or Mulheim near the Rhine River.
It's like
Near the
one of those
Rhine.
spots that, like, the house is really small, but they have a lot of acres for some weird reason.
Not at all.
Okay.
Yep. I
It doesn't sound like it.
I think more tenement like.
Oh,
Yeah. I think there was just like they lived in a shoebox that was on top of a shoebox and below a shoebox and next to a shoebox, and
And nobody heard.
oh, I'm sure they heard. So, as if it couldn't get any worse for them, Peter's father is known to be an overly abusive man, especially when he was drunk, which is pretty much always. Peter referred to his father as a man with very little moral restraint, and trust me, in 1883, that's an insult right there.
That's
You are a man of very little moral restraint,
That is a sick burn.
and I bite my thumb at you.
your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries.
So, not good, you guys. It's not good. So, abusive father, overly abusive, very little moral restraint, so much so that his father would sometimes come home intoxicated, make the entire family, 11 children and his wife, gather around. Once they had gathered, he would make his wife disrobe in front of the entire family and have sex with him in front of all of his children. And I said this before, but like, I don't know about you guys, but I make sure like the dog's out of the room so that like I don't need my performance judged by more than one other person who's going to be doing it. I'm already going to be sad about it. Okay,
What?
I don't need my 11 kids watching too.
Stop the face. Get in there, buddy. Come on.
Dog sitting in
Don't
the
pull the
corner.
towel
You
in.
call that doggy style?
Yeah, and I'm like, sorry, I'm bad
I
at it.
specifically don't let my dog see just so he doesn't try to do it to my girl. Because if he does it, it's game over, bro. Dad coming with the
Bobby's
beat.
like, I am the jealous type.
Yeah,
Trust me, I will kill my dog.
That's my leg.
Speaking of that,
hold on.
no, okay, so
Hold on. Hey, don't put that on me. Don't put that curse on me.
he is going to again. He's gonna have sex with his wife in front of his kids.
Daddy, no.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's so bad, and it shouldn't come as much of a surprise to find that despite the popularity and overwhelming presence of Catholicism at this time, Peter's father was not a religious man at all.
No, I mean,
He was very opposed to the church and to the Catholic faith. He alienated himself from everybody in town. He wasn't like cool dad who had some buddies who also had kids their age, so like we play soccer together while we play cornhole in the back.
Can we talk about the way you said that though? Because I'm pretty opposed to the church and I alienate myself from like my neighborhood and everybody around me. But
Yeah, but you're like sitting here with friends who at least most of the time enjoy your company.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
but I've
take your
got you
red
guys
flag down.
behind my back. So
Yeah. Well, hey.
just watch
Get
it.
in
Watch
Oh,
it.
he's
Just
getting
watch
good
it.
at blocking.
But seriously, like it's that's rough, right?
Yeah.
Poor memory.
Yeah.
As you think
Oh,
about it,
God, yeah.
they're probably so poor they're not going to school, right? Because you probably ain't
So
gonna go.
they are actually.
They're going to
because-
school.
And you know, I think I kind of glazed over this because I have it written right here. Peter's like not that bad of a student. He's like,
so he's kind of smart.
he's good at school. That's what he always said. I don't know that intelligence was ever. I'll tell you one thing. He's charming from a young age. He's a
They
pretty
all
charming,
are.
and he's never gonna lose the charm.
Don't know where he learned that.
Yeah, exactly. Get over
Must
here,
have been a trait of
woman.
his mom's.
That's a nice dress. Lose it.
be a
Yes,
shame if
I know our kids are here. I can't do it without them anymore. Peter says that he's going to start to run away because of his father's violence. He and his father are not going to see eye to eye, and the other children are going to start to leave home at this time too. Question number 2: at what age would Peter begin running away and stealing to get by? So this one is worth 250 points if you can be the closest to the answer. It is worth 500 points if you nail it. At what age would Peter begin running away and stealing to get by? In our first iteration, Bobby actually nailed this one, saying
Heart of the
8
cards.
years old. Darren said 4, and he didn't get any points.
wait.
This has a doodle of Jesse on it.
Still
by the way,
no
so-
points.
Yeah,
Still?
Bobby's at 750.
I got
Bobby
4.
is
Little 750.
Bobby is at 750. Darren hasn't gotten it yet, but again, I mean, I don't have to say it, but I'm gonna. Plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
There you go. Honestly, this is how it starts sometimes. I just get humbled so quickly.
Listen, luck can't last forever. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's the thing about Bobby is like sometimes people will come here and I'll be like, oh, they might have heard this story. Peter Kürten's not like super obscure. Never Bobby. I'm never worried that Bobby's heard that serial killer story before.
I get nightmares, bro.
Really quickly, and I'd like this to stay in the show because it's one of my favorite memories of all time.
Ah, shit.
This one night I was like, yo, Bobby, you should play this Friday the 13th video game with us. And he's like, it sounds pretty scary. I was like, it could be a little scary, but it's like, you just play with us, though, you know? So it's like, and he's like, all right, how much is it? You know, it's like, oh, it's $30. He's like, all right, fucking, I'll buy it, you know? Yeah. And so he gets home, and I remember he got in kind of late, so we had all been playing a little bit, and he's like, hey, all right, I'm ready. I'm going to jump on. I'm like, hell yeah. And so he jumps in. I'm like, so here, you know, the point of the game is this, and most people that are listening are going to know, but essentially it's asymmetrical. You're Jason or you're a camper. If you're Jason, trying to kill all the campers. If you're a camper, you're trying to escape, and that's it. And so Bobby was the last one. And when you're the last one, you'll have some responsibilities. Like you need to get the phone working, you need to get the boat going, like you need to do something, and you can potentially bring one person back. Help you, and Bobby got in a locker. I'm just going, bro, I can't fucking do it, dude. I can't fucking do it.
Correction, there was a locker and a bed.
Oh, my bad. Under a bed, yeah. Under a bed and in a locker.
Too good.
Yeah. Jason found him.
Jason found it. The music was like, dun.
Well, because the music ramps up when Jason's near you.
Oh, it's freaking
so
out,
it's
bro.
like, yeah. So it's one of my favorite memories. I think it might have been one of the first time Bobby and I ever played video games together.
It has proximity chat too, so Jason can hear you.
You hear Bobby going, "The fuck! Oh, I can't fucking do it, dude!" And when you're in the locker, you just have like the little slit in the, you know. That's okay. So for question number 2, Bobby did score 500. It was at the age of 8 that he started running away. He would steal. He started his kind of prey mentality now. He's going to like steal from women that he knew he could outrun, kids he could push down and take their food or drink. He's kind of just like a little prick of a kid. He's like the kind of kid like my kid is 8. And I see kids at the park that I'm like, yeah, I could shove that kid down. Yeah, I could definitely. That kid's
You size up kids too? I always think about fighting kids.
Why aren't his parents shoving him down right now?
Yeah.
They should be. That's the way he's acting. His parents should be shoving
See,
him.
that's the problem. I'd fight a kid, but I don't want to fight their parents.
So, 8 years old, mad criminal behavior already. But he's a victim of his own circumstance. He's being abused. He's having to watch his mom have sex with his dad in front of all of his siblings.
Damn.
It's not even like a Hank Hill walked in on his parents type situation
where he went temporarily blind
on accident real quick. No, this is like a Clockwork Orange. Their eyes are all pinned open and fucking.
It's 6:30, guys.
I mean, I'm sure they weren't.
No,
but
it's
yeah.
You know, we're just gonna get graphic now because we're gonna get graphic.
Sit back down.
God damn it. So he was once caught for his thefts, and he was about to get shipped off to a reformatory by the police when his parents stepped in and stopped him from doing so. We talked about it a little bit first time around. It was like, why would they do that? I don't understand why they wouldn't just get rid of him. They were already having a hard time. Well, the thing is they made enough money to feed 11 kids and probably have a bigger apartment. But when we talk about people who are alcoholics at a very high level, who are like drinking from the time they wake up to the time they pass out at night, and they're doing it every day, and it's one of the main things they're going to spend money on.
Yeah.
I mean, what are the things you're going to sacrifice on when you have 11 kids? Like,
I like to call them solo parties.
Yeah. You don't really need friends and food and I don't know, whatever, toilet paper or whatever the newfangled things are.
Maker's Mark. That's
Indoor plumbing. Why have that when we can get drunk and shit in a hole in the yard?
That's not our yard, Dad.
Oh, shit.
Then don't tell the neighbors what I left them.
Who else but Mr. Kürten? So they would run away. The kids, a lot of them. Anyone who was pretty much old enough to get away from the family would start getting away. And the thing that I found interesting is they didn't really seem to run away as like little packs. They were all very individual. They just spread like cockroaches into the cracks.
I mean, imagine seeing your brother all the time and being like, bruh, I don't... Mom,
yeah,
Dad.
That's true.
They've
all seen some shit together.
Homer Simpson said it best. Once you've been through something like that with someone, you never want to see them again.
Yes. So,
or was that Mr. Burns who said it? I don't remember.
Either way, it's good. This is a claim that's made by Peter, but it's unsubstantiated. He claims that when he was around 9, he and 2 friends were out on the river playing on a raft a few of them had constructed. We talked about before, when we think about rafts, we think about ones we might have built as kids from like plywood our dads had left over, or maybe like some good 2x4s that we swooped off the construction site or whatever. You know, like, come at me, fucking Grantwood Homes. Do something. It was 10 years ago. There's got to be a statute of limitations on this.
Did you just say a statue of eliminations?
Said statute of limitations.
Oh.
It may have sounded like that. I'm not enunciating well. I'm very hot. So, their raft is made out of fucking logs that they found on the side. Maybe they cut them down. They used twine they made from branches and skinny twigs that they bent into shape. This is a heavy, barely floating raft that is going down a very fast-moving part of the Rhine River, and it's very shallow. So at one point, the 3 of them are on the boat. One is tending to the rudder in the back. One is up in the front guiding, and then one is in the middle. The one who's in the middle, Peter Kürten, of course. Fucking asshole. While the one in the back is steering and likely looking backwards, he pushes, what do we call them? Gunter and...
what did you call?
You said Christoph, but I feel like it should have been Uter.
Okay, Uter and Gunter.
Uter
and Gunter. So Peter pushes Uter into the water.
9.
And Uter goes under the
No,
raft.
just one.
Uter goes under the raft, and we're thinking about, like, he's getting entangled in these things that are under there, as well as kind of being rolled over. Like,
Is there rocks too?
Yeah, it's like
not that
rocks.
deep, right?
yeah. I mean, it's a
Logs.
river, exactly. You walk in
Rhine
the bottom
River.
of the river, you're like, yeah, it
Probably
doesn't like
beer
feel
glass.
great, but I can survive. Now imagine that being like your face and your chest and your back as this heavy ass raft, still with 2 kids on it, is rolling
Made
over
of big
the
ass
top
logs
of you.
that they cut down themselves.
Yeah, or just found. Who knows what's going on? But he gets
We cut
entangled
down
under
and
the
hollowed
raft.
out a giant sequoia, as was the style at the time.
So, and you know, this is like one of those we talked about. It's a rite of passages in a lot of boyhood, and I'm sure a lot of girls do it too. But if there's a semi-dangerous could kill you, well, you know, I'm just saying, it's 2022, Bobby.
I know.
Goddamn it.
I love that you did that because you're like, you got your stops, but I like it.
It's a rite of passage to go floating down the shit that your parent was like, hey, listen, that'll straight kill you if you go in there. So you know that, like, that Friday you were like, yo, my dad said I'd die if I get in here. You guys want to build a fucking raft and, like, I don't know, float 11 miles down it? You're like, Upper King's down, bro, let's go!
That's stuff that I do now.
Yeah. At least you're an adult and carry, like, life insurance and things of that nature.
And a life jacket.
Yeah.
You don't just
Elbow pads.
shit in a hole in the yard. Watch your parents fornicate.
I mean, not every day.
I mean,
The whole yard thing. You
try
said the other thing while I started speaking.
But yeah, clearly being drugged under
Under the
deal.
raft. Yes, exactly. So, question number 3. What happened when the other boy saw what Peter was doing? Did he A, start to beat up Peter, and when Gunther started to beat up Peter until Uter was free and they started to beat him up together? Or he jumped in to free his friend and they didn't talk to Peter anymore? C, he jumped in to help his friend but also drowned? Or D, nothing. He was in shock. Was it A, started to beat up Peter, B, jumped in and freed his friend and stopped talking to Peter? That's like the classic little kid, right? I'm not your friend anymore!
you can't come to my birthday party.
Did he jump in to help his friend who also drowned? Or D, nothing. He was in shock. I believe Bobby said things were going to be fucked up and stay getting fucked up,
Yeah.
so 2 kids drowned.
yep.
Darren said shock,
Yeah.
which, I mean, you could definitely see
Did
as
nothing, right? Did
Yes,
nothing.
yeah.
That's a fair response.
Yo, I don't know what Peter did the other day. That dude, he had an accident. Like, I don't know.
But yes, Bobby was correct because Bobby was staying on the fucked up side,
Yep.
and that's unfortunately where we need to stay because as Gunther jumped in to save Uter, who had been pinned under the raft, Gunther was pushed under by Peter. So Peter pushed under both friends. Both friends get entangled under the shallow river, quick-moving raft, and both would eventually succumb to the river's forces and drown.
It's funny that you say his name's Gunther because, like, all I can think about is Adventure Time, and that's a penguin. And, like, ironically, a penguin would be able to swim pretty well. in that situation.
Not with a raft on top of it.
That's true.
Yeah.
They're
On the
slippery,
rhyme,
bro. You never know.
They're slippery, bro. But
They're
yeah,
like little Vaseline birds.
so the boys become entangled, and they drown in the river. When it is investigated, Peter says that the 2 fatalities are considered an accident. So he's just a kid who is at the scene of an unfortunate accident where 2 of his friends died, and he's lucky himself to have not died, right? Like, that's like the...
lucky.
There's a moral of the story here. You don't go to the river with your serial killer friends.
Right,
Because
right.
then you
Yeah.
could die.
Suss them out.
And there's an
Suss 'em
asshole.
out.
Yeah. So if you
If
guys
your
know
friend
any-
tells you, I watch my parents fuck,
Yeah.
don't go places with them.
That's exactly. Yeah, dude. That's a red
Get
flag.
just good
him
advice.
help. No, don't leave him alone. Get him help.
Yeah,
Don't
you're
go to
right.
the river with
Or
him. You're
just
Just don't
end
go
him before
places
he
with
ends
them.
everyone else.
right. Never a second location.
Time travel.
Yeah, time travel. Yes, thank you, Bobby.
That's the cure.
Now, don't worry. Nowadays, Google's listening, and
Right.
FBI will
It'll
be at
send
your
you an
house.
ad on what you need. So the accident is ruled, and Peter's found to be not responsible at all. Now, again, part of this, I believe, may be a false confession from a man who wanted to grow his lore once he was apprehended, because this comes from a confession 40 years nearly after the fact of when he says it takes place. Additionally, he could have been there when 2 boys drowned, and he could have just been part of it and was like, oh, again, growing his lore, like, oh, yeah,
True.
I drowned them, and I did it with one hand, too.
Yeah.
This also could have just never fucking happened.
True.
So,
It sounds like something where he was like, they were talking to him as an adult, and he's like, yeah, man, I've been crazy all my life. I fucking killed 2 kids when I was 9. I drowned them under a raft we made together.
we're going to go a little bit into Peter's father's side of the family, Peter's mother's side. We get a little bit of an extended family look here.
Okay.
Peter's father, not from a good family.
surprising.
He's one of 10 children to alcoholic parents, a railway worker who would himself become an alcoholic, just like his parents.
Sounds like an Offspring song.
I'm going to let you write it. Several of his brothers and sisters would come to have a terrible reputation wherever they went. Peter's paternal grandmother lived to be 70 and would remain a fervent alcoholic until the day she died. So he grew up around a bunch of fucking alcoholics. His brothers and sisters were all shitheads. He's going to grow up to have a son who's a fucking Macaulay Culkin good son out on the river. He can't.
He can't see without his glasses. Wait, that's a different movie.
Yeah, but that's okay. We got the reference.
I'm realizing that I'm the only one drinking alcohol at this table too.
That's
Here, give
hey,
me something to smoke and I'll hit it right now. I just feel bad.
it's around here. It's around here.
Shit.
One in
other
each
than that,
nostril.
So, again, his paternal side of the family,
Great
extended grandma, grandpa, not great. Aunts and uncles, not great. Some of them will do extended prison sentences. Yeah, it's not a good situation. His mother's side, things tend to be a tad more normal. She had 5 brothers and sisters, seemed to live fairly normal, well-adjusted lives. Again, since the information is available, I want to bring it to you guys. It's nice to look at past generations, kind of see what we're going to look forward to. So look backwards to look forward. You know what I'm saying? All of the Kürten children, 2 of them die young. One dies in WW1. We haven't mentioned it this time, but you know this does happen during a certain important historical time in Germany.
Starts with an H.
It's not the Holocaust. This because that was World War II.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
is World War
shit.
One. This started with the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. And I'm not going to give you like a full history lesson because I don't know it, but like this was Germany's first like run at power.
Holy shit.
So
Okay.
Germany, like a lot of resources, like it
Franz
makes
Ferdinand, not just a band.
yeah, he was Austrian, and but this whole thing, he like, it makes sense that he's poor because in any sort of ramp up to war, there's gonna be like a limit on supplies, on food, on goods, and I mean this is before they invented like rubber soled shoes, so everybody has leather sole shoes, so. Like leather's gonna be scarce, and you know your shoes are gonna fall apart, and you're not gonna be able to just go get them fixed. And like, You know, stuff like, so there's like rippling ramifications. Maybe not quite yet in his life, but like around that time. That's why that was the stuff I wanted to bring up earlier.
But we are kind of getting to that time because he's born in '83, and now we're kind of working into his childhood years. So we're only like a decade out.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I want to say that was
war.
2 decades.
Because World War I was what, 1911?
Yeah, it was like 11 to 14, I think,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. Which I mean, I'm almost positive I am mistaken.
There wasn't Skechers
but
back in the day.
I think that was the deal. And you're not wrong. But again, when we talked about this a little bit earlier, it's not. It doesn't seem to affect, other than one of his siblings dying in World War I, obviously.
Right.
Doesn't seem to have
Too much relation.
affected his life.
It didn't have a whole lot to do with the story at hand.
Again, of all of the Kürten children, 2 die young, 1 dies in WW1. One of the sisters married young, becomes a housewife, fairly normal. This is the one Peter will stay in touch with for most of his life. The other married sisters were described by Kürten as being very oversexed, and 2 of the brothers who were... 2 of Peter's brothers are going to serve incredibly lengthy prison sentences through most of their life. Yeah, so...
Do you think, like, when Peter reached out to her, she was like, oh, good, I got a letter from Peter? Or do you think she was like,
I have to love him. He's my brother. So sometime during this time, Peter is going to look outward for a male role model and finds that in a man that lives in the same apartment building as him. Question number 4. What does this man do for a living? Is he A, a dog catcher, B, a butcher, C, a chocolate maker, or D, a cobbler? Was it A, dog catcher, B, butcher, C, chocolate maker, or D, a cobbler? This is the last question that Bobby and Darren have heard, so from now on, we're all going to be on level playing field.
And I don't remember how this one played out. Do I have to give points to anybody?
Come on, why are we jumping ahead?
Hey man,
No.
I didn't get my answer yet, bro.
No, because neither of them got this right. Because I do remember.
This is Greg.
Bobby said what was it again?
Cobbler.
A cobbler.
Bobby's in the shoes.
Chocolatier for
I like chocolates.
chocolate and shoes. What a good thing. I like fresh
candy.
cuts of meat.
I'm not going to lie.
so
Those
I
last
would go
3
butcher.
options, B, C, and D, all sound delicious. Butcher,
Yeah.
chocolate maker, and cobbler.
Let's go. I like peach cobbler.
Wait, no.
So wrong kind of cobbler.
Boo.
Wait, did you think he was a baked good?
Then can we please just call him a cordwainer like adults?
So Bobby and Darren both also thought that the obvious answer was butcher.
Yeah, butcher.
Yeah.
And they wanted to go off the obvious. So I like your guys' tactic, but it was a dog catcher.
Yeah.
As you guys now
My
know.
answer was 2 HBO Max.
Yeah.
Solace,
good.
Mom and Dad. Now you're here catching.
I've seen
bitches.
that Johnny Depp movie. Chocolat. The man is a dog catcher. He's a dog catcher that would take the boy out to work with him, not only to get a little help, but also to teach young Peter the ways of torturing animals. Right? Gosh, you just need someone sometimes to share your hobbies with.
Just gets better.
It's always nice to have somebody like that you can look up to, and it's just a shame that the person he looks up to is like, hey, you see this little defenseless, adorable creature? Let's fucking kill it.
You should see
Let's
what
kill it
sounds
slow.
like when you slice its throat and stuff. You want to see? So, positive male role models left and right. Father has sex in front of him, beats him, destroys the home, extreme alcoholic, spends money where he should be spending it on his children on booze. Not a fucking good guy. Hey, here's my new friend, Thomas. What does he do? Oh, he murders animals. It was said that his name's not really Thomas. I left a lot of names out just because they're not important.
So
But
that's not German.
this young man
And you
teaches
can't
Peter the art of torturing dogs. Peter's going to escalate from there. He's going to go to a farm. Many farms in the area. He's going to locate some pigs, some
Not
sheep,
E-I-E-I-O.
even some cows. Now listen, it'd have to be a sick cow. Peter would not only
Wait.
torture these animals, but he would also eventually begin doing the sex on them.
You couldn't just leave it there. You just had to.
I didn't do this. I just wrote this. What do you want me to do? I can't get you all the information.
No. I mean, like him, like you could just leave the animal. Like you got your shit, you did your shit.
It's escalation,
but
buddy.
you want to like.
I bet you, you're the kind of guy that just wants them to stop at animals and not continue on to humans, huh?
Yeah, every time I'm that guy.
Yeah.
Every time because.
Like Jesse said, that's classic escalation.
It starts in one place, and it's, I'll stab a dog in the neck. Oh, I'll fuck the dog while I stab it in the neck. Oh, I'll fuck the pig while its life bleeds out of it. That sounds wonderful to me.
Metal.
I mean that's where we're at. That's what I'm not saying that he didn't already have a little predilection to enjoying that. And it was just open to him by
he was already a little messed up sexually. All it took was a nudge in the
like, wait
wrong
a second.
direction.
And that's what
I
I'm
know
saying.
that
Is
hole.
like, this guy was just like, yo, check this out. And he was like, I didn't even know this existed. You know what I mean? He's like that one friend that showed you weird porn that you oddly liked.
You're a genius.
This better not awaken anything in me.
Exactly.
That's good. I like that.
So,
Shit.
this is bad. This is bad. We're going to sink farther into depravity here because his father would begin raping the eldest daughter.
Saw that coming.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that the family didn't know about this because, again, they shared a studio apartment, right? I can imagine. I mean, we're probably like, what are we talking? A couple 100 square feet, maybe?
Yeah.
Dude.
Maybe?
Yeah.
He's like, mom's done. She's getting a little too old.
Control.
That's, I mean, I think.
Dominance.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
next in
And
line.
so the eldest daughter, Peter's the oldest. Remember, Peter's not into adulthood at this point, which means the daughter's
Wait.
not. She's 13 at this time.
Ah, shit. She's just a teenager.
So in 1897, his father would be jailed for nearly 2 years
Oh,
after
they got-
repeatedly raping his eldest daughter, who was 13 at the time. During his imprisonment, Peter's mother gathered all the children that lived in the shoe. She had so many, she didn't know what to do. No, she did. They moved, but Peter's father would not be too far behind. She relocated the family to Dusseldorf.
Sounds pleasant.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds better than where they've been, I feel like.
Yeah.
She would eventually remarry, as would dear old dad, but who the fuck honestly cares? These kids are fucked up beyond any reason at this point, if you
You
ask
missed
me.
the opportunity to say repair. Who the hell cares? These kids
Oh,
are
poor
fucked up beyond
stepdad.
repair.
That's,
Poor stepdad at this point. What's
hey,
he
I
getting
wasn't
himself
trying to be a
Oh,
lyrical
no.
wordsmith,
Not
motherfucking
stepdad.
genius.
Oh.
I'm just saying it's almost not fair.
Here's the
You
thing.
just
You know what
stopped
I'm
right
kind of
there.
proud of, though, which sounds weird to say after that. They did kind of have like a little boundary. You know, they're like, at some fucked up point, the mom was like, yo.
That's almost
not the
exactly what it
daughter.
was like. You're not going to rape the kids, too.
Like, come on. Like,
check
I
this
have
out.
Time, baby.
She would eventually remarry, as would dear old dad, but honestly, who cares? The kids are already fucked up beyond repair. During his father's imprisonment, as the oldest son, Peter would take a little responsibility and get a job to support his family. He actually got a job at the foundry in which his father used to work, mainly doing grunt work with the intent of moving up. Question number 5.
Oh, shit.
After being there for some time, he gets a new boss. Who? Is it A, his dad, somehow? B, a worker younger than him with less experience? C, actually he became the boss? Or D, the new boss is at a new job because he actually got fired?
Ooh, a trick question.
Oh, after being there for some time, he gets a new boss. Who? His dad? A worker younger than him with less experience? He becomes the boss, or a new boss at a new job because he was fired? Little twist. What a twist! What a twist!
Shyamalan.
Shabalaba, I just wanted to borrow a cup of sugar. All right, I'm not sure whose turn it is, but we'll say Bobby. Oh, it's Darren's. Okay. What do you think, Darren?
I'm going to go B.
It says B, younger and less experienced. Bobby says
I'm going C.
C, he becomes the boss. Hey, moving on up, moving on up.
Say
You're
that
thinking
charisma.
too positive.
Yeah, what?
Because upon getting out of prison about 2 years after the rape of his daughter, the elder Kurten would get his old job back and become the boss of his son.
Dad is out.
Yeah, I thought it seemed too like.
I tried to give you the hint that he got the job at the place that his dad worked.
Well, I
So
thought
he's
they-
finally in a place where he thought he was going to move up.
Yeah, that's
but
what-
his
yeah.
dad got out of prison,
Yep. Nope.
And he was already qualified for the job.
Oh,
Why would we give it to
shit.
this kid? Yeah, he's been doing a good job, but this guy already knows how to fucking do the job.
He
So
totally had charisma.
And they know each other. They probably
he
got
does.
great
He
chemistry.
was working himself up into that position, but
Did Dad kill him and shoot
as
that
somebody
shit?
who has had to develop employees, I do understand the value of someone stepping into a position who already knows how to do it. I don't have to train them. I don't have to spend time. I don't have to spend money. Yeah, maybe it was for prison, and I wouldn't bring that guy back, but.
Yeah.
At this
dad.
time, in this, I think it's a foundry.
In this economy?
Yeah, in this economy. Yes. So the elder Kurten would get his job back. So now Peter and his father are both working at the same foundry together.
So nobody got any points for that, right?
Nope.
No points yet.
Okay,
Sorry.
just making sure.
In fact, most of Peter's work came under the direct supervision of his father. So not only does he have to work in the same place, but he is also working directly for his dad in many ways. Even on their days off, the elder Kurten would convince Peter to work on a foundry that he had made and kept in his home. They would melt down aluminum parts for raw metal to sell. So it was essentially like they worked 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, and he'd be like, come on, son, we can't skip a day. Like, I made a foundry, we're going to... And so they would go work in their own foundry on Sundays,
Oh, let's go.
you know, putting away aluminum scraps and turning them into bricks to sell
Like,
or whatever.
Hobo.
What's that?
It's like a job for hobos, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going a little bit farther, and like they've got their own, you know, like
They got paperwork.
they're
and shit.
melting it down and shit.
For, like,
And
actual
I don't think
companies.
they've got
Side
paperwork
hustle.
and stuff.
They got-
I thought it was like maybe
They got
like
a side hustle. They're not
shell-
like collecting aluminum cans and crushing them and turning them in. They're like turning them into raw aluminum.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
Okay.
So just a little bit different, but essentially they're doing the recycling before they're giving it back instead of giving it
Oh,
to
they make
be
big
How
recycled.
green.
Yes, yeah, how green.
All
of them.
right.
Around 1896, at the age of 13, Peter and another girl his age began a relationship that quickly became physical.
Oh shit.
While he says that the girl allowed him to quote kiss and fondle her, he was not allowed to go as far with her as he had liked. Instead of forcing himself on her, he would take it out on the livestock. He went back to his ways of doing the sex on animals, but would realize.
I forgot he wasn't an adult while he was doing that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He's like a
dude.
child still at this point.
Holy shit.
But he would realize around now that if he could reach his greatest sense of elation when he would stab the animals while having sex with them. So remember before he was torturing
Yeah,
animals,
and
but
then-
also having sex with some of them. But he wasn't killing the ones he was having sex with. He was just having sex with them. He loved them. You know,
He
was
just,
having sex
it's like,
with them.
I'll be back next
Now
Tuesday.
he's realizing that his greatest sense of completion comes when he's inside of the animal that he's stabbing.
What a fucking
Damn.
jerk.
I mean,
Man,
it's
he's
an
just a piece of
epiphany
shit.
That you don't. That's the biggest epiphany
Yeah. So
I've heard in my life.
Like, even if that is truly, like, just the dopest feeling out there, I don't want to feel it.
yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah,
No
don't
nerds
need
is
that.
bliss.
Nope, thanks.
let me give you another detail you didn't want to hear.
Ah, shit.
Oh, good.
He would claim that oftentimes during these animal attacks, he would climax with each stab of the animal.
Wait, he can orchestrate his climax?
With each, yeah, he'd be like,
What the
So he would
Okay.
also begin to attempt to rape the same sister that his father had gone to prison. for.
What the? Whoa! What the? What?
It's escalation, Bobby.
Bro, no, like, come on, like, not the
But
girlfriend.
it's literally
Like,
they are perfect incremental steps of escalation.
Bro.
It goes from I steal to eat, I steal because it's kind of fun. I torture animals. I fuck animals. I fuck animals while I torture animals.
He's doing a little combo
I
here.
fuck my sexually battered sister.
No, that doesn't even. That's not escalation, Jesse. That's a huge jump. That's
Well,
a,
I mean, it seems
It really is. It is classic
it's
escalation,
the
though.
next step. He's done everything he can with the animals. The next step is people. So, not too long after this failed rape, because he only tried once. He tried one time. He didn't. It
Oh, he
didn't
failed?
happen. Yeah, he failed. It's a
I
failed
knew it,
attempt.
dude. She had to be like more quicker and some shit.
That was, I think, exactly what happened. She fought him off. I think they were in the apartment, if I'm not mistaken. So the following day, he would
Slay Queen.
essentially rob the family, take everything of value in their home, and he would also go to there was like a cash box at the foundry or wherever they worked, and take as much money as he could, and he ran away. He relocated to Koblenz. So I think he's like 14 at this time. And in Koblenz, he would begin a relationship with a sex worker who was a few years his senior. Now, he's he's a few years experienced, 15 or 16 now, in a foundry. Like, he does not look like a 16-year-old man. He looks like he's carries a few more years than he looks. So the sex worker is unaware that he's essentially a kid still at this point. He would later talk about how the sex worker would allow him to perform nearly every act of perversion that he wished upon her. Well, it's because he's paying her. When she tried to get a grip on the situation, he would quickly turn violent. Since he was in a new town with little to no resources, he was quickly arrested for breaking and entering a theft. So he's doing the same shit. He moved. He had some money that he stole, but like, how long can you survive on that? Plus, I think he was spending a little bit of it on a sex worker.
Yeah, I was like, that's expensive.
All of his perversions. Yeah, so he gets,
not that I.
yeah.
Okay.
He gets caught stealing. And, you know, I think he's like one of those guys we're going to see. He goes in and out of prison a lot. He's one of those guys, it's like, maybe it's a roof over my head, but at the same time, he does not have an enjoyable stop in prison. So he's going to get arrested, and he's going to spend, I think the first time, he's going to place prison for 1 month. And upon his release in August of 1899, he would obviously return to his life of petty crime, just as he had been living these last few years since leaving his parents. Question number 6. How long would he take before he reoffended? Is it A, 3 days, B, 3 months, C, 3 weeks, or D, 3 years? 3 days, 3 months, 3 weeks, or 3 years. He gets out. He got caught for petty theft. Motherfucker. Back out on the streets. How long is it going to take? How long until he reoffends? Bobby?
I'm going to go. Something just tells me C.
3 months?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Sorry, 3 weeks. Yes.
3 days.
3 days. Only 3 months after his release.
No, wait.
I mean, I have C as weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was say Bobby celebrated, and I was like, wait a second.
No, I said, damn it. I said,
No.
okay.
I asked him because I looked at it and I was like, did I say weeks and months? But no. Yes. You corrected it and you were wrong. Only 3 months after his release.
I wish I didn't.
Again, this is another uncorroborated story by Peter's confession 30 years later, but he claims that he took an 18-year-old girl to an area, quote, amid lovely country, where during the sex he would, quote, throttle her. He choked her out. I'm going to use this term a lot because he uses this term, and I'm going to quote him a lot. So just in case anybody's not, I understood by context, but I don't think I had ever heard the term used regularly. So he just choked her. He choked her hard. He throttled her.
I've heard it. It's something I've heard before.
It makes sense. Like if a motorcycle's throttle is
twisting
and squeezing, it's
I've heard it like I'm gonna throttle you
okay.
if you don't shut up.
Yeah, you know what? I've probably heard my
Who's he
asshole
messing
uncle
with?
say it.
Like my grandma,
Damn,
when I wouldn't shut up.
G-Mo.
She's right. She was right. She was
Hey.
right to do that, and I'm a better person for it because I have never had sex with or stabbed a farm animal.
There you go.
So Peter's going to claim to take this 18-year-old out to an area amid lovely country where during the sex he would throttle her, leave her lying there, supposing her to be dead, and heard no more of her. There was never a reported murder at this time in the area, so it is believed either that A, it never happened, or B, she survived and did not report it.
Damn.
So, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, well, we have some records, and we don't see anything where it was like, oh, we found a girl in a field this time. So, again, we talked about a little bit of serial confession that we might be getting out of Peter here. Never a reported murder.
Yeah.
But could be Henry Lee Lucas. Could be she just never reported it. We don't know. He says he did it, though. For this crime, he would spend nearly... Oh, sorry. Skipped something here. In 1900, Peter would once again be arrested, this time for the crime of arson, as well as theft of his workplace. The theft of the workplace was the crime in Dusseldorf, catching back up to him. So that's... Because he didn't move far. He moved a few towns over. So arson and theft of his workplace.
He didn't go far enough for it to matter.
Right. For this crime, he would spend nearly the entirety of 1900 through 1904 in Dusseldorf prison. So remember, he stole and he committed arson and spent more time in prison than his dad, who raped his daughter. Some people thrive in prison, and it seemed that Peter was not one of them. He describes prison as, quote, soul-crushing. He suffers from fits of rage in his cells that he claims are due to his poor treatment, and officials claim that he was treated no differently than any other prisoner. I'm not at liberty to speak. I'm not at liberty to speak about what German prisons were like in 1900.
Everyone just gets a shit end of the stick.
But I can't imagine it was like top notch.
No.
It wasn't like Norway's prisons now. In his 1930 confession about this time in prison, Peter would say, quote, "Nothing is worse than the spiritual suffering of one who is tortured through the infliction of pain." He would be released from his fettering and imprisonment in summer of 1904. He spent a lot of time with his feet shackled together. That's a fettering. Because he was a fucking asshole who was constantly acting out. He would have been out earlier, too, had he
seems
not
like a
continued
kicker.
acting out. Yes, and
Like-
that's why he was fettered.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he seems like the kind of person where they'd be like, all right, come on. And he'd be like, nope, and just go dead weight. And when they try to scoop him up because he looks like he only weighs like $110,
Yeah.
that he would just like start kicking his little feet and thrashing around like,
Fit and shit.
hey, don't get your hands near his mouth. He's a biter.
You got to put the Hannibal Lecter mask on.
Yeah, the spit shield.
So he's let out of prison in 1904. Question number 7. Let out in 1904, but isn't readily available to commit crimes immediately after being released. Why? Is it A, he is beaten badly by someone that he is in debt to? B, he decided to just lay low for a while, like smart decision. All right, I got out last time, I reoffended, they kind of fucking put me right back in. Or D, he was drafted into the German army. Is he beaten badly by someone he is in debt to, decided to lay low, met up with a sex worker and enjoyed himself for a week, or drafted to the German army? I skipped a whole one. Beaten badly by someone he's in debt to, decided to lay low for a while, met up with a sex worker, or drafted into the German army. We're looking for the reason he didn't immediately begin committing crimes again. You guys got your answers? Darren, what'd you say?
I'm going to go B.
B, decided to just lay low for a while.
lay low.
Lay low. What do you say, Bobby?
I'm going to say C again.
C, he met up with a sex worker and enjoyed himself for nearly a week.
Yeah.
He was drafted into the German Imperial Army.
I thought the timeline was off.
Yeah. So
Guess
after
not.
being drafted, he was deployed to the city of Metz to be part of the 98th Infantry Regiment. After only a few days, he would desert the army.
Don't say.
So with his desertion of the army, we're going to take a break.
Yes.
I got to pee.
Yeah. Me too, actually.
You guys out there, enjoy whatever we have going on in the break. And
It'll
come
be
back.
a little fade to black and then a little fade back.
There we go.
Hey.
Come back or we'll kill you. Welcome back, everybody. If you can hear this, I don't have to kill you. If you can't hear this, Bobby's on his way.
Yes.
So, we just talked about our friend Peter being drafted into the army. I know, we're not his friend. He's a fucking fuckface. He's not our friend. Sorry, I said that, you guys. We're not friends.
What kind
Boo!
of friends you have?
Well, I mean, if you want to be friends with him, that's fine. I think he's a fucking fuckface. Look, Greg just put his picture up. Look directly below Greg. That's a fucking fuckface right there.
It is.
This guy?
Fuckface McGee.
Fuckface.
No, not that way.
Yeah, everybody's pointing in different directions.
You guys know where we're pointing. So, terrible dude. Deserted the army he was just drafted to. Instead, deciding to commit some more arsons, as one naturally does. He would, he did like what the classic arsonist likes to do. He sets a fire and then goes and like stands at a safe distance while somebody puts it out, and whatever, jerks off at the thought of like, yes, things are dying in there, and it was me.
Boo.
Yeah, we're talking like early 1900s fire. Like I think they're literally throwing buckets of water at this thing. That's like,
I was gonna say we've all seen Family Guy. We know you have to fist fight fire in the 1900s.
And somebody's playing a piano.
Play me out, Johnny.
So you get the idea. He's a fuckface.
Yep.
He sucks.
He would finally be caught on New Year's Eve 1904 and admit to over 24 acts of arson, in addition to deserting the army. His motivation for burning the buildings, mostly haylofts and barns, was, quote, sexual excitement and the hope of burning tramps alive. And not in like the lower back tattoo kind of way, more in like the pasta-eating dog.
Okay. I was like, shit.
He's going to spend some more time in prison and be released in 1913. Still being a weird little ragey asshole in prison. While he's in there, he's fueled by rageahol at this point. Now, free from prison once more, I must warn everyone that I know you feel like it's gotten graphic, but I literally put in here a graphic warning. I'd say get yourself 3 to 5 minutes down the road, but okay.
Here we go. Buckle up.
Okay.
Like a lot of killers we're going to cover from here on out, I'm not going to cover every murder because some of them just have a lot and a lot of attacks for a few reasons too. I also don't feel like glorifying them. I feel like the more interesting part of their lives is everything that came before their crimes and what led them to it. That information isn't always readily available or easy to find, but it is the focus I like to bring. That being said, here we fucking go. The first murder we can absolutely say that Peter Kürten committed was during a burglary at a tavern. Remember, every murder up until this point has been much more like just us wondering if Peter's not just, again, trying to, I like to use the term growing his lore. Because all of it stems from this 1930 confession. So this is the first one that we can all unequivocally say, yes, this murder was committed by Peter Kürten. It happened. It's real.
Okay. Let's get it. Hit me with it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I keep missing myself. Okay, so the burglary in the tavern. Whilst going through the tavern and searching for money and valuables, he came across a 9-year-old girl in a
Ah, damn it.
Kürten did not hesitate and strangled the girl with his own 2 hands. To ensure that he does not fail again after he had done so, he slashed her throat twice with a pocket knife. This is when Peter mentions in his 1930 confession that he ejaculated to the sound of her blood splattering on the floor. So for your dose of purely putrid people, please put Peter on the pulpit. This motherfucker is bad.
Dude, this sounds like ASMR.
But I
blood.
wonder how much of that he accidentally Pavloved into himself, like with the animals.
Well, I mean, like, that's, like, part of the thing, though. Like, did he Pavlov, or was that just there? Was that the...
That's
like,
true,
he learns
but
that from the dog catcher, and that's what got him off the end?
I
He's
think
like,
one begats the other.
well, right, and it's escalation. A
Classic escalation.
swine isn't good enough. Like, I think a human would fight back more. I think a human, I think he's a dude that you'll see... moving on, like, he's going to use his charm in order to engage and start a lot of these attacks. And he's about the slow burn. Peter's not always like, hey, what's up? Choke you out, kill you. We're going to see, like, he's
building relationships and shit.
Yeah, it's a little... yes, he will.
Fuck, man.
Although we see him being incredibly spontaneous right here.
Talk about red flags.
Yeah,
Toxicity.
you're gonna see. So, again, he did not hesitate. He did this, and he admits to it, and he's not so bad with it. So he could he hung out the next day in a tavern across the street because he wanted to hear what the locals were saying about the murder. So he said he loved and got power from the local sorrow and disgust for the child killer who had been slain in the night, or for the child who had been killed in the night. Yeah.
So they're like fuck this guy, and he's like, yeah, like bring it, give me more.
I mean, okay, picture this, right? So a kid, these are homes where it's like the tavern's downstairs, the home's upstairs. That's how they live.
Like Bob's Burgers.
Exactly like Bob's Burgers. And Peter goes and he kills a 9-year-old. And then the next day comes back to this town because he always did it outside of his town. There are always little towns around his. Comes back and he sits all day in the tavern across the street where all the the tea is getting spilled. Everybody who heard something is there and they're fucking talking about it. And some people are just there mourning, like, how fucking sad, this poor little girl. Perhaps even the family comes over at some point to eat a meal. I don't know. It didn't say that. But just imagine what could be.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting over there going, like...
in a corner seat, just like... with his head down, just like drinking.
Like, just getting off on all of the fucking negative energy that he knows he's created. He also claimed that he would visit the site of the grave after her funeral.
Oh, brother, dude. No,
Dude, you might... hang on here. And would spontaneously ejaculate just from handling the loose soil near the top of her grave.
This guy sucks.
Okay, I thought he was going to jack off in it. I thought he was going to jack off on top of the
No.
grave.
He's so bad. And like Greg said, the Pavlovian effect is like he knows he killed this girl. So he knows that forever he controls her. Darren talked about, power and control. So he knows now that, like, he goes up and just grabs the dirt. Like, he created this, right? He created this corpse. He created this grave, this headstone. That's all him. And that's his power and his creation. So he goes up and he handles some of this loose dirt because, they tamp it down, but a grave is a grave is a grave. It looks like a grave. He goes up and handles some of the loose dirt and busts.
That guy, I mean, that sucks so fucking much, though. It feels so much like Albert Fish, who was also rocking around the same time.
He's just less into taunting the families of his victims.
But it feels so much like Albert Fish in the fact that
Albert Fish is rocking in New York, though. The homeboys in Germany.
Yeah.
So they're not crossing paths.
But it's a territorial thing. They're like gangs.
Yeah. It's true.
Isn't
They're like wolf packs.
What's the guy who's like takes care of the graveyard? It's called like a grave
Groundskeeper.
Groundskeeper, yeah. Is there not one just noticing a guy with like wet spots in his pants every time he leaves the graveyard?
I mean, listen.
Man, oh man, that guy sure cries on his crotch a lot.
Not every graveyard has a groundskeeper. Not every body buried in 1900 was buried in a graveyard. It might have just been buried out in the family's backyard, and he snuck back there because he knew that's where the grave was, because he's hanging out in town getting the information. Damn. So yeah, I see what you're saying, but at the same time, it could have been just our family owns this field, and we don't have any dead. Unfortunately, this is the first we're going to start with, but this is where we're going to bury her.
Shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
I wish I could say it like gets a bunch better, but we're just going to get more desensitized to it.
I don't know if I should take notes.
Again, I'm just reiterating, like, this is what we're dealing with. In June of 1913, a woman named Margaret would have a run-in. She would also be one of the survivors that we get. So we're gonna get a tale from two sides here. Okay, so in Peter's version of the two stories, he throttled her many times. When she appeared scared, Peter told her that this is what love was like, and that she should not be scared because he wasn't going to kill her. Then they had sex on a bench at the park. And this is what I mean. Like, I'm not saying that she was all, oh, hell yeah, let's do it then.
Yeah.
But he lulled her back in enough to where that could happen.
okay.
Like, to where
I think
he didn't
it was.
have to...
It sounds to me like she had an option. It was like
Yeah.
be killed or have sex.
She didn't want to like shame the kink or anything, kink shame.
So
No, when they're serial killers, it's perfectly okay to kink shame.
absolutely. They're fuckface.
Well, she didn't
fucking
know
assholes.
he was a serial killer at the time. He's just a
Well, we
boyfriend.
do.
Them. I don't think it's her kink.
Like the stonecutters.
Yeah.
We do. During the trial, Margaret would tell the story a slightly or different way. She tells the story of the two of them spending the night for some reason walking through a forest. So he convinced her to go out on a date and was like, yeah, we're just going to just walk through this dark, foggy forest. Okay.
Perfect.
Doesn't this sound so good, Margaret? Yeah. So they're walking through a dark forest all night, according to her, and he took her bag and keys away from her and got physically aggressive when she attempted to get them back. Picture him going like, ha, you're not going anywhere. And she's like, give me my fucking bag, give it back. And he's just like stiff arming her, like doing the like, and so, he gets physically aggressive when she attempts to get him back, shoves her down. She said he would spend the next little while switching between the guy that seemed like he wanted to kill her and the one that wanted to love her.
I wonder though if that's because there's not enough of a distinction between those two like super strong emotions in his brain because of
trauma.
Because of how he grew up. He watched like sex and violence go hand in hand for the first. How old is he now? He's like in his in his late teens.
No. We've moved on here. We're in 1913. So at this point, he's like 26.
Okay, so his mid-20s.
He's 30. No,
30.
He's 30 now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he's 30.
That's me next year.
So he's 30, and he's
we spent a lot of time in prison. That's why we kind of made a few jumps. There were
also
a few pretty
probably
lengthy
blurred some lines for him about about violence and love and sex and how all that stuff maybe shouldn't go hand in hand.
But it did.
Yeah, and I just wonder if that's because of how he grew up and the things that he saw, or if it was just genetically. I mean, it's always the same question if it's nature or nurture. But I always just wonder if that's because of the things that he witnessed and what he was a part of, or if it's because he's just genetically pre-programmed to be fucked up.
Oh, nature versus nurture, an argument that no one can possibly be right on.
So quit bringing it up.
So we bring it up every episode because it's a valuable or it's a viable opinion to have, and I believe it's a blend of both, and I think that's also like a very acceptable answer because some people become CEOs because they were raised in better environments, and if you tested them, they would test for sociopathy or some of them psychopathy, but they have, their ways of cutting someone down are much more in I could fire 600 people today so we can make an extra $100,000 this month. Yes, exactly.
Like you said too, a lot of the storytelling could be really emphasized, and he might be trying to tell the judges that it was nurture, so he doesn't get like a big sentence.
Well, yeah, it's like pleading insanity, right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
unknowns.
Yep, and a lot of times too, when you go into a case like this, the judge will decide whether you're allowed to bring your past into the court. Like, that might not be admissible evidence. That doesn't have anything to do with this, and I'm not saying that a judge would, but and it's also German justice system, likely different than the American justice system that I'm more familiar with, but not very familiar with. So, a lot. Yeah,
I am not a lawyer.
I'm not. If you're using the show for research,
I claim to be a lawyer in previous seasons of the show, and I am a lawyer. I'm a lawyer for a select few people.
I was going to say, he's still my lawyer, but that's just because.
It's just because I won't give you power of attorney back.
Yeah. I'm stuck here. So he's lulling her in and then getting fucking crazy and lulling her in and getting crazy again. And I think Greg's right. She's just like trapped there. Once he seemed to calm down, she allowed him to approach with a coat because they're out like in the middle of the forest at night. At which point Peter attempted to rape her. So she's like, oh, finally he's calming down. He's like, yeah, come on, I got a coat. Yeah, get over here. She tried to appeal to his Christian beliefs because he, unlike his father, he's trying to, I think, in a lot of ways we see abused people either become their parents or do their best to become the exact opposite. And I'm not saying that he's doing his best to become the exact opposite, but I think in one way now, towards his 30s, he's realizing that along with everybody, like we were talking about, religion is a good way to maybe ease some of this guilt he might be carrying on his soul. But anyways,
I also think there might be a small amount of because he didn't have a whole lot of control growing up, that the one thing he can control and the one thing he can take a stand with is his belief system, whatever it is, no matter how fucked up it may be, it's his and he can control it, where with a majority of the things that he had to face growing up, he didn't have control. That's why he didn't like the prison system. No, they didn't like the Catholics.
No,
his dad didn't like.
His dad didn't like.
So was he Catholic? Because I'm pretty sure you can just go to like a box and forget.
I don't know exactly. She says that she tried to appeal to his Christian beliefs.
Christian beliefs.
Well,
Catholic. Well,
yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
But she told him that like the act he's committing right now is going to send him to hell. And she said that this seemed to calm him down enough, but in the scuffle, she had fallen and her dress had torn. She did not feel like riding the tram in that state was an option or from where they were in the night, so she allowed Peter, again, who is not freaking out, to drape his jacket over her, and the two of them slept until dawn on a bench, leaning against one another, Forrest Gump and Bubba style.
Damn.
Yeah, so I think he was just tired at that point.
Like, you know what?
He's like, all right, yeah, you know what? I'll quit the whole trying to rape you thing, and I just need to get some sleep too. Yeah. So when dawn broke, she awoke Peter to let him know that she was going to try to get back home. He then attacked once more.
Oh my God.
This time punching, kicking, biting, and pulling out chunks of hair. She would once again beg him to calm, and he does for the time being, and takes her to breakfast after asking her to never tell anyone what he had done. As soon as she had a chance, she separated herself from Peter and told the wait staff what kind of trouble she was in. Peter fled, but was later caught.
Good on the wait staff.
Yeah, exactly.
It has a very, unfortunately, I hate to make this kind of connection, but it has a very Artie Ziff feel if you're a Simpsons fan. Like
Artie Ziff is a creep.
When he takes Marge to the prom and he is trying to get all handsy with her, and then he goes, "Please don't tell anybody about my busy hands. I'm very respected in the community." Like, that seems like the same kind of creep shit that this guy's trying to pull. He's like, "Oh,
except for like way more
over the top, over the top." Absolutely, no question there. I'm just saying,
every time you appear,
I am watching you through a camera.
So, but I'll also fairly brave of her to like pick her time because she spent the whole night with him.
Yeah.
On the verge of maybe getting stabbed in the fucking throat or throttled to death.
Why she was asleep.
And instead finds the right time around people, separates herself, has a waitstaff go out. Peter bails, gets caught later. But in the meantime, he would begin a huge burglary streak, later admitting to looking for homes that were 2 floors and had a business that operated on the ground floor. Peter
like the tavern.
Yeah, Peter would say that these were the safest to burglarize, as he could search the ground floors without any real fear of being caught as long as he was quiet, generally only hitting towns that were neighboring his instead of his own to avoid any suspicions. In a house only weeks after killing the last young girl, he describes in great detail his sexual assault and murder of another child approximately 10 years old. The pathologist spoke of several unnerving facts, one of which being the wounds to her neck. 1 slice across the neck, and the following 4 were all stabs towards main arteries, as if the killer knew. So it's almost like the killer was like, oh, okay, carotid, jugular, and kind of took after going across the...
What books were you reading in prison? Anatomy?
So her throat inside was full of blood when her body was found. Question number 8. What does Peter do immediately following this murder? Does he A, go and get shit-faced drunk? B, go and find a sex worker? C, take a 16-hour nap? Or D, commit several acts of arson? We know he's fond of that, but we also know he's fond of sex workers and alcohol. So
this is a really good question because there's so much at work with each answer. Like... Yeah. The arson is like, is he really just trying to compound on that feeling of that?
Well, read it back, Greg. Question number 8, starting from the top.
What does Peter do right after the murder? Go and get drunk, go and find a sex worker, take a 16-hour nap, or commit several acts of arson. All of those are very viable answers in my opinion.
So you're saying I wrote a good question?
You did. You did a fantastic job.
I think it's Darren's turn.
I'm going to go with D.
Commits several acts of arson. He knows he's done it before. What do you say, Bobby?
I picked arson too.
Also, arson.
I don't know if I spelled it right though.
Give everybody some points, Greg, because
points.
Yeah. And here's one where I was like, okay, I'm gonna put a little more of an obvious one, and they're gonna be like, no, that's a little too.
Thanks
obvious.
for the gimme, Jesse.
It wasn't so much. No, that's called a trick question, brother. You got it.
Well, I feel like he's like the trifecta. I need it all now. I just got to get the last one. You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of, I think, exactly what it was. He got to rob, he got to kill, and he got to burn all in this night. After murdering the girl, Peter also set fires to several buildings. This is almost becoming kind of a calling card.
He's like a Joker.
Yeah. Well, part of it is it a calling card or is it a distraction? Is it like, oh, there was a girl dead and there's arson, and it's like, are they being immediately connected? Is that something that you would immediately connect? Like, oh, there's a house fire.
Right.
And they're happening in different towns. And we know that, like, in the U.S. in the 1980s, police precincts weren't talking to each other.
Yep.
I mean, again, I'm not saying Germany's like some third world country that's so far behind in technology, but 1920s Germany, probably a lot of these police precincts weren't very interconnected.
I do not know.
Total guess, and I'm with Bobby right there. I do not know. But I do know that Peter is on a fucking rampage right now.
He's fucked up.
He's also going to claim, besides the arsons and the murders, to attack 2 males this night who attempted to stop the arson. One of the arsons that he committed, saying that he attacked them with an axe, striking one in the head, but he's not sure if the blow was fatal. On a Saturday night, that same June, he takes a casual stroll, and while out on it, uses his axe to crumble a young woman who he claims went down without a murmur. In July, he went... So a lot of these...
Dude, that's such a violent image. Like,
well, remember the knockout game not too many years ago?
Yeah.
It really feels like he's kind of like almost doing that. Because
pioneering that.
He's using the blunt end of the axe.
Oh, God!
Oh,
See,
he
have you
is?
ever?
So
have
he's not
you-
even just slicing
He's
right through,
bludgeoning
zombie
them.
style.
He's
Have you ever
bludgeoning.
seen somebody just go down hard, like no hands to catch them? They just go face first
Yeah.
into the
Yeah.
concrete or the asphalt
Yeah.
or whatever.
For
Yes.
Imagine them being propelled by the back end of an axe swung like a fucking baseball bat. That's just insane to me.
Yeah, no, it should be insane to everybody.
That's like the ugh.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So, again, he doesn't know if he killed this guy or not, or this woman or not, but he said that she went down without a murmur. The next month, he went out with the same axe once more and found a man resting at a park bench.
Ah, shit.
He would smash the man over the head and set fire to a hay-filled cart on his way out. Later in July, he was, by his claim, only seconds away from burying the axe in the head of a girl who was about 16 years old. Her father came in just at that time, and Kürten fled, dropping his axe and leaving it behind. It was one of very few times that Peter had contact with men during his attacks, and he will avoid them like the plague unless he can sneak up on them. After chasing Kürten and losing him, the father returned home to find Kürten's axe in the bed. Witnesses have been used to corroborate the fact that someone was nearby at the time and definitely fled from his home and did leave behind an axe. 17 years later, Peter is going to confirm, yeah, that was me.
Oh,
That's so wild, dude. Like, what fantastic timing by her father.
Yes.
But that is so wild to just imagine. Like, it's just that gives
Imagine how your whole family and life changes if you
that
don't
gives
walk
Richard
in.
Ramirez vibes.
But
Yeah.
then
Like
again,
how he just took advantage of an unlocked door. That's what he looked for.
Well, and they weren't even unlocked. He was like supposedly really good at gaining access to
Well, but I mean, it was
Damn.
like a he saw her and decided, yep, this is it. This is where it
Yeah,
kind of
happens.
his
Drake.
thing. It's almost like a moth to a flame.
Mm-hmm.
Like he sees a child, especially a girl in a bed. It's like, well, I have to kill now.
Just a crime of opportunity.
Yeah.
Like a vicious, cold-blooded crime of opportunity.
Ah, shit.
So
Does it being
But-
random make it scarier?
Here's the thing: is like,
Yes.
what if that family wasn't the best family either?
Well, I mean, did the 16-year-old deserve to die?
No, never.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
To
Who
me,
knows?
is that
You're
crazy?
right. Maybe that dad was coming in to do something inappropriate. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
You never say, but then like, I don't know, man.
I just like the story where the dad heard some shit and chased the guy out.
Yeah,
for
let's go with
killing.
that one.
Yeah, let's do that.
The
one.
story's got me fucked.
We
up
don't
in
get
the
to
head,
add a
bro.
whole lot of positivity to this. So,
Yeah.
another Saturday in July, Peter would break into a house and successfully kill a girl, approximately 16 years old, while her two siblings continued to sleep in the same room. Kürten strangled her for several minutes, several times, he recollects. He would sneak out and commit more arsons, but caught only a few days later, but only brought up on the charges of arson and burglary, but so far as I know was not connected to the murders in this town. You have to remember, too, this is a time before serial murder is really a thing in the eyes of the law, so
Yeah.
it's like they're not like looking for one person who's committing all these crimes, they're looking for this group or this
There's, like,
entity.
no fingerprint
where,
database,
yeah, we're
like,
really at
yeah.
a point where like this isn't, I mean, it's not coined a term until I believe the 1960s.
Damn.
I wouldn't be surprised in the least bit if somebody in Germany, somewhere in one of these police stations, floated the theory that there was like a monster of some sort
Oh yeah.
that was doing this. Like,
Well, that's what I mean. That's why I threw in entity.
Yeah,
because
that's
we are
the-
at a point where you might have enough believers that all this shit is happening, and no one
a boogeyman
sees him,
shit.
no one catches him, no one has anything to report. All there are a wake of people who are either killed or knocked out, cold with crushed skulls.
right. That's
You
what
know?
I'm saying. Like, it
And
just
he's probably just known as the drunk dude that lights fires.
right.
Yeah.
There's weird Jimmy. He's gonna go jerk off to that fire. And he's
He's
drunk.
gonna go steal something, so somebody keep an eye on him.
Little do they know that he's the
He-
throat slasher.
That-
Yeah,
killing
that-
people's kids.
So he's going to go to prison again. This is for arson and burglary. He's not connected to the murders. After coming out this time, I don't have any details for prison this time, not for lack of them existing, only because he's just, again, a melodramatic bullshit artist who's a big old pussy and feels way too bad for himself. In 1921, he would come out of prison and he would meet a woman. This woman had a little bit of a sordid past herself. From 1903 to 1911, she would have a relationship with a man who was employed as a gardener at a home at which she was employed. They were to be married, according to many. He would eventually leave her high and dry. Question number 9. What did she do to the man who left her? Did she A, shoot him, B, slash his tires, C, break the windows of his house, or D, kill his dog? A, shoot him. B, slash his tires. C, break the windows of his house, or D, kill his dog.
See, again, like, just looking at this is another very well done question because...
I have no hesitation.
No hesitation?
No hesitation, but not at all. Not at all.
All right, Bobby, what is it then?
She John Wicked his ass, bitch.
Oh, Darren?
I think she's killing that dog.
Okay, Darren said kills the dog. Bobby says she shot him.
No. John Wick,
killed
his
the
dog.
dog.
Killed
Oh,
the
sorry.
dog. Sorry, guys.
John Wick is also like,
the guy.
I was thinking you were being John Wick.
You know what? I'm going to be real with you. I should have said that a little more clear. No, they killed the dog.
Okay, both killed the dog.
Because that's happened to John Wick.
You should have stuck with the answer that I told you it was because she shot him. Yes. She had a very level-headed response for not following through with what she believed was a promise. She decided to shoot the man. He did live, but for her crime, she would spend just under 5 years in prison herself, being released in 1915. A few years later, she would remain in that town until 1920, when she would take over a sweet shop in Altenburg, where she became friends with a woman who happened to be Peter Kürten's only sister he was still in contact with.
Wow.
No
What a terrible set of
way.
circumstances to lead to that.
Due to this, eventually she would meet and marry Peter Kürten in 1923. This despite a very scary sexual relationship between them, one in which he
I
would
don't doubt
physically
that.
accost the Frau Kürten. Frau Kürten, her name was Augusta, but I like to call her Frau Kürten. Augusta. Frau also knew that Peter was involved with other women, and one specifically named Oler, O-E-H-L-E-R, Oler, as well as herself. Peter treated this woman how he treated most women in his life and just sort of pushed himself upon her and raped them when they said no. Oler was threatening to bring up rape charges against Peter for this, and it was actually Frau Kurten who convinced him her to drop all the charges, calling Peter an otherwise good man, except for what he had done to her.
Who is this
what?
Frau Kürten?
Frau
Is
Kürten,
she
Augusta.
The Bonnie.
the original Nicki Minaj?
I mean,
Oh, shit. Can you
not
say
like
that?
far off, right? Like she shot this dude was like, I'm gonna marry you. He wasn't like, from what I understand, it was just like, oh, she's kind of fucking crazy and I don't want to marry her. And she was like, oh, you don't want to marry me because you think I'm crazy? and shoots him. So proving only that that he was indeed correct the entire time.
I'm talking about being just like a rape apologist and like going after the victims. Because that's what Nicki Minaj.
From
has
what
been
I
doing.
understand, she did not go so much go after the victim as say like, hey, I'm not saying he didn't do it to you. I'm just saying that let's let bygones be bygones. You get out of here.
Hey,
And
you got raped, but
besides
come on.
pretty consistently raping you over the last year or so, he's a pretty good guy.
Like, he buys this shit?
He provides.
He provides.
Are you ever not hungry?
I think she was into his weird, quirky,
She's like, come on, get
sex
raped
stuff.
more.
He doesn't mind that I shot a guy.
No, so remember, Frau Kurten is also
Fucked up in the head?
no. Perhaps she shot
Yeah,
him, but
yes.
she is also in what she calls a scary sexual relationship with her husband.
Yeah,
So,
so that's
how
true.
could you
She's
not be
also.
with this dude?
It could be.
Oh, he lightens the blows when it comes to her because he's already, raping the other one. So
I
she's
don't
like,
even
"Come
know
on, I need you
necessarily
to
that
be
it is
buffer."
like a beating she's receiving. It's more of like a, hey, let's have sex. I'm not really in the mood.
I wasn't asking. I was telling.
Yeah.
But then the throttling probably still happened.
Yeah.
But
So, like,
also-
his hands are weaker by the time he gets to her. So it's like, I need you here.
It's also possible that there was some sort of like Stockholm syndrome
right,
situation
yeah.
where you eventually start to identify with your captor.
I feel like I know a lot of this shit just from you guys. Like, I would never have known Stockholm syndrome shit unless that one episode where that girl actually escaped at the end and fucking she like tricked him to like falling in love with all that shit. But like, holy fuck, bro, that's insane, dude.
So, Peter and his, do you have something?
No, I was just gonna say, she knew to put the pocket knives away before going to bed.
Yeah. That's probably a good idea. They had a brief separation, he and Frau Kurten, in which Peter would be in Dusseldorf. Upon his return, he immediately told her that he had been unfaithful on 2 separate occasions. These 2 women were named Tied and Mech. Peter said that he would often seize Tied by the neck while the 2 made love. When he became angry, he would again go to the line this is what love means. So
he would choke her during sex.
and
She
she'd
didn't
get
like
mad,
that,
and he'd
he
go,
would-
"Come on, this is love, baby."
Like, what?
Love means letting me do whatever I want.
Yeah, why are you trying to stop me?
Love's supposed to be
That's-
crazy. You know?
That's
He had also maybe been lying to Tied about his name, age, job, and success in life. He was also sleeping with Mech, who of the two girls found out about it, and instead of fighting each other, they decided they'd go after Kurten. He was
Oh,
initially
there we
brought
go.
up on a charge of attempted seduction on Tied, and because she told police he had tried to seduce her and he was married. So that was a charge at the time. He
So-
can't seduce other women when you're married to.
I will say this: of all the charges that this
Yeah.
guy has, they're all shit. I mean, he sucks.
Yeah.
He deserves all the charges and more. But if I was gonna get brought up on a charge of seduction, I would put that on like my resume.
Yeah. Okay. So you'll hear some fun ones here too, Greg. So then the two girls come together. They would attempt to bring Peter up on a charge of rape, but were acquitted for lack of evidence. And
Nah, he didn't do
so
it.
then they
That
got
was a
together,
video.
and he was charged for quote using threats and insulting behavior, and received 8 months in jail.
Oh, like so, like it's like verbal abuse.
Yeah, pretty much. So he got 8 months in jail for it, of which he would serve 6. Question number 10.
Oh shit.
Why was he allowed to leave jail early? Is it A, good behavior? B, on the terms that he immediately leave town? C, he worked time off his sentence on a chain gang? Or D, he read to other inmates to have time taken off his sentence? Good behavior, on the terms that he immediately leave town. This town ain't big enough for the both of us. He worked time off his sentence on a chain gang, or he read to other inmates.
Dang, I can't believe they gave him the Seymour Skinner treatment and put him on a train and rode him out of town.
I don't remember whose turn it is.
I think it's mine.
All right,
Yeah,
Darren.
yeah.
I'm gonna go B.
B.
Get out of town.
Get the fuck out of town. What do you say, Bobby?
I'm gonna say he actually just read to others because he said he was pretty good at academics.
Yep. Give Darren some points, baby.
Yeah.
What? Because they told him he can get out of jail. The jail was overcrowded. He was not from there.
What the?
And they said, listen, we'll let you out 2 months early if you just get the fuck out of town.
Dude, that
It's
shit's
creepy.
somewhere
And
else,
he was
man.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
And his early release was on condition that he get the fuck out of town. He would attack a woman named Marie the following summer in another town. So he just what's funny about it is he gets out and then he like puts in an appeal like, I don't think I can quite leave town yet. And essentially the police were like, all right, here's the deal. Get the fuck out of town or we're just going to start your sentence over. And so he left town.
Damn.
Yeah, so he's
I thought they would be like,
sure he'll
nah,
be
man,
back.
we don't want this guy out anywhere else.
I'll be back.
I guess it was just abuse. You're right. Abuse.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So he would attack another woman. He attacks a lot of women named Marie. I don't know if it's purposeful, but
What was
or
his
there's
mom's-
a lot
what was his
of
mom's
them.
name
I was gonna
again?
say it's
Popular
probably
name. That was like Jennifer back then.
Oh, okay.
pretty common German
But what
German
is the
Fraulein
mom's
name.
His mom's name,
Yeah.
I believe.
I got you.
starts
You,
with-
Yeah, I
you-
didn't
you-
put it in the outline.
Oh,
I
you didn't?
I didn't. No.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's connected. I don't know.
That's a great point. Maybe it was Marie. So he would attack a woman named Marie in the summer of 1925. He would first have sex with her that she agreed to.
Okay.
Afterwards, he could not control himself and began to strangle her. She would escape his grasps and scream for help, at which point he would flee. So another survivor of an attack of Peter Kürten. Yeah, exactly. In the spring of 1926, and again, just because I went from 1925 to 1926 does not mean there were multiple attacks in between. Kind of hitting some highlights
Yeah.
because if we went over everyone, one, we'd fucking be here all night. He attacks a lot
damn.
of people.
Okay. If that's a
Two,
question.
they're almost all exactly the fucking same, save the names and the dates. So,
Damn.
giving you an idea there.
Good ammo.
In the spring of 26, he would begin dating another woman named Maria Wack. She, under a false identity of Fritz Kettler. She was in a Fritz. She was an account where she has an account where they date for weeks. She believes him to be a gainfully employed railway worker. And one night they're walking. So she's dating him for weeks. Remember I said he's like, oh, the long game's fine with me.
Yeah.
So he's having consensual sex with her for several weeks
Just holding it and waiting to erupt.
because he is Fritz Kettler. And one night they're walking through the park and he bends her over backwards on a bench. So think like they're sitting on the bench and he grabs her by the neck and like bends her over the back of the bench. And, think that's an awkward
Yeah,
position.
yeah,
to try-
hell
like,
yeah.
You
Very
have
awkward.
someone kind of like at your mercy almost at that point. So he bends over backwards and reaches his hands up her skirt. Between her fighting back and some bystanders actually seeing and helping out, he was scared and ran off, never to be seen by Maria Wack again.
Lucky for her.
Well, and she can't say, yeah, Peter Kürten did this to me. She tells the police that Fritz Kettler.
Yeah, like, I mean, obviously not lucky for her that this happened, but lucky for her that there were people around and then she never had to see this clown again.
Yes, yeah, hell yeah.
Because that seems like just looking at his dumb face every time it pops up is just like
Starting to piss you off?
a little bit.
So just know out there, guys, if you see some shit happening, go up, because then maybe they're lucky like her and they never have to see a
Don't listen to
fuckface
Bobby's
again.
advice. Call the police.
What?
Don't get killed.
Okay,
If you're using the show for research, don't. All right? You guys are gonna love these two sentences.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, are we on? Are we? Mike's okay.
Yeah, we're good. GTG. Okay, so Maria Wack, never gonna see him again.
Right.
Here's the next two sentences
Right.
for you. Ready? He would have another 20 some odd attacks over the next few years, but according to him, they were nothing more than basic assaults and some arson. However, in 1929, he said, "Fuck it, let's ramp this shit up."
Oh shit.
So everything we've gone to so far,
Bro, is he fucking people inside of a firehouse?
it's less going to higher extremes, more to bringing higher quantities.
Oh no, it's a massacre.
So in 1929, he's now 46 years old. He's not a young
which
man.
is which
He's
is well
seasoned.
past the age to be getting into this.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's been into it though. Like
No,
he's been into it literally since like
This is like
nearly day
day to day,
one.
yeah.
I agree,
Life.
but like usually we see the berserker
We see
mode.
the peak at like young 20s. Mid, yeah. I don't disagree, but he was definitely out there handling.
Yeah, he's
business.
doing it. He
Yeah,
just had
yeah.
better control
Even
over it.
Batman retired
Yeah, so
at like 60.
so
Kind of.
he goes to the park on a Sunday. He recalled it was February 3rd, 1929, where he sees an elderly woman at dusk. He pulled her into some bushes and told her to make no noises. Before she could really even speak if she wanted to, Kürten lifted a pair of sharpened scissors and stabbed the woman 24 times.
What?
Despite some stabs reaching bones and traveling deep into her body, she was able to survive,
Let's go on, man.
but not able to identify Peter. On February 8th, he attacks a girl with the name Ollinger. He claims to have attacked her, and while restraining her by the throat, took the scissors from his pocket and plunged them deep into her temple. Now, the reason, well, I think I might put it in here, but just in case I didn't, the reason we're seeing him switch weapons is because now he's like, fuck, are people
Yeah, they're
on
catching
to me?
on, yeah.
Like,
They're
I'm
catching
gonna-
on, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to
Switch
switch
it up.
from this
Two-prong.
axe that I'm using, plus he left it behind.
Oh yeah.
He's axeless.
He's axeless.
He's
But
like,
we are also
He's a hatchet.
several years down the road. He could have
he could have
procured
saved up.
an axe
Saved up,
in
Bobby
between.
Lashley.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly.
I wonder if he has like a really nice pair of scissors that has it like. it's
Well,
like,
it says a sharpened pair of scissors. So
he like
He can only steal so much, so they can't be that nice.
yeah, and
But
so
he
and
could've.
this will kind of become a thing he does too.
Is he holding down
is,
jobs?
Is stabbing them in the temple. Yeah, he's still married.
What
After the
fuck?
temple stab disengaged her because she's like wrapped up around him because she's like trying to defend herself. But the temple stab disengaged her, and he began to stab her in and around the heart. He would go home and return with some petroleum to burn her body, but realized the park was too crowded. So he left the body and petroleum and came back early the next morning to do the job. He claimed to
Rain check.
get no excitement over this, and that he never sexually assaulted her and never masturbated over the body. Like he's some kind of saint, right?
That's an
Like,
oddly
bro,
specific claim, though.
Like not that one.
But he's
That one's
done.
really doing
The,
it for
the
me.
reason he's saying that is because he has done that in other cases.
No, I know that
And this
just
time
seems.
he's like, listen, this one was just I wanted to stab. I didn't want to fight.
It just sounds like when you have a little kid and they like knock something over and you're like, what was that noise? And they're like, definitely not me knocking the juice over.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Wish
He
my
was
kids
like,
would fess up like that.
that's what it sounds like though. He's like, I definitely didn't sexually assault her and masturbate over the body. I just stabbed her.
I
Like
was
that's
thinking like that she was.
But for someone who wants to just constantly grow their lore, it seems like an oddly
where's my parade,
strange
man?
time. Yeah, and
I don't know,
again,
I think he's graduating because again, like he's talking about like he had to go back later because the park was too
Yeah,
full.
it's-
So
yeah.
now he's like killing people like literally among other people.
well, this one literally he like pulls her off a trail and drags her into
Right.
bushes and says, "Shut the
Exactly.
fuck up," and stabs the fuck out of her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was like that fast. Pulled her in, she started stabbing. February 12th, he leaves home searching for a victim and could not find one. He'd eventually come upon a man that seemed drunk and was aggressive towards Peter. Peter shoved him to the ground, at which point the man grasped onto Peter and began to grapple with him. Peter would eventually get the upper hand and stab the man in the temple and in the back of the neck. He said that he stabbed him so deeply into the back of the neck that he could barely pull the scissors out. Peter stood over the body a while. And remember, Peter's doing like all of his attacks like late at night. These are like, generally, he is brazen. He did that one during the day of the old lady. But this is like 2 in the morning. He said he stood over the body for at least 1 minute and watched the puddle of blood grow. Even though it was dark outside, he could see it like spreading on the road. Peter stood over the body for a while before deciding to drag it into a ditch. He would walk away before deciding to go back and wipe his prints off the boots from where he drugged the man.
That seems like some real 4-dimensional chess for being 1920-something.
Yeah, I think this is right about the time where fingerprints are starting to be used as a more...
but that's still, like, that's some pretty heads-up defense.
That he walked away and went back to wipe
that he
off
returned to the scene of the crime is ballsy, but like that he walked back and like, I mean, somebody's gonna see the puddle of blood, somebody's gonna see the blood stain if it's on concrete or whatever. If it's in dirt, you can only do so much, and then they're gonna see the drag marks and all that stuff.
Well, Greg, that's actually great that you mentioned returning to the scene of a crime, because question number 11. The following morning, Peter was heading back to the body to make sure that he had cleaned up well, and he ran into and struck up a conversation with someone. Who? Was it A, a police officer, B, the victim's brother, C, the victim's wife, or D, his own wife?
That's me, man. Captain Foreshadow.
Was it a police officer, the victim's brother, the victim's wife, or his own wife?
Fuck. Those are good too, dude. Police officer.
Writing some good questions. You're bringing out some bangers for this episode.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's fucked up.
Who do you run into, Bobby?
The fucking wife, bro.
The victim's wife, Darren says.
Police officer.
Police officer. Let's put Darren on comeback watch because the following morning, Peter is walking to the crime scene to make sure that he's cleaned up good enough and meets up with an officer.
Damn it. I thought it was too obvious.
Every serial killer.
Hello, officer.
They gotta have that run in.
Gotta have that running.
Well, it's just like
Gotta
the
have that
intensity
running.
is
Coulda
like
happened.
here. And I thought, you know what? He didn't just get the one. He got the whole fam bam, bro. Took the wife too.
With
Nope.
with Dahmer, it was when the police escorted the guy back into his apartment.
Yeah, exactly.
Like everybody, like you said, everybody has their moment where they're almost caught and then they somehow get away.
So after walking away, he would eventually meet up with that officer once more at the location of the body.
Did you guys give ride-alongs?
The officer asked how Kurten was aware of the body's location, and Kurten claimed that he was told about it and just wanted to see.
Guys want to see
The
a dead
officer
body?
believed him, and Peter was on his way. There is a story from Frau Kurten where she will save the life of one of Peter's eventual or near victims. He was meeting her under a supposed identity and had taken her out one day with the intention of killing her. Her name is Maria Witt. Moments before he was about to use the sharpened scissors to kill her, his wife approached them from behind to confront him about, quote, having a new wife.
Yeah, cheating.
In one of the world's coldest/smoothest moves, he pecked his wife on the cheek and just walked away from both women, never looking back. Later, he's about to kill one of them. His wife walks up like, what, is this your new wife? And he just said, I'm walking on sunshine.
What
got me.
Oh.
So not these today, but you know what? I thought you were gonna be like, he slit the neck of his wife while doing a 360 and
Nope.
stabbed the temple.
That's why I said it's cold and smooth.
Dude.
Yeah,
holy
that's-
shit.
that's-
He kissed her and said, you can't tell by the way I turn my...
He's so romantic.
Yeah, exactly.
dude. Holy shit.
Give
So-
him a good
Turkey?
park bench, you know, show you a good time.
Yeah, exactly. Later returning to Frau Kurten as she was forgiving of the situation.
What?
I mean, she at the
Because
beginning
she's
of the
not-
relationship was aware he was with other women.
Yeah.
She's like aware that he goes and sees other women. I don't think she is aware that he's murdering women.
Yeah.
But she's like, yeah, he likes to dip his wick.
Yeah, but
As
I thought it
is
was on
with
the
tradition.
wife.
I feel like
that wife though. She like thought he was like marrying someone else.
I think it was more like coming up and being like, "Oh, is this your new wife?" You know, kind of shit.
Just fucking around, dude.
Yeah. Well, not like she was mad about it, but
mad,
being like, you know, who's this hussy kind of shit. Like,
I feel like with these women that are with the serial killers, like while they're doing all their serial killing and stuff, and I mean, a lot of times you're like, how could you stay with somebody like that? And I think it's part of it is because that they bring something to the relationship, whether it be a little bit of extra income or whatever. But I think the reason that so many of them seem to have mistresses and girlfriends and stuff that their wives are okay with is because they're like, at least he's not bothering me. Like he's not asking me for sex. He's not around me to pester me. He's off doing whatever, God knows whatever it is that he's doing out there in the world, but he's leaving me alone, and I still get, you know, my bills paid or whatever. And I'm not saying that's the case with this particular lady, but I think being able to reap the positive benefits of a relationship while being able to turn a blind eye to all the other negative stuff is somewhat of a plus.
Well, she also fucked up in the head too, and like
she is technically a ex-con.
Hey, what kind of trips me out is like why, when she found out that this guy was cheating on her so much, she didn't just cap that dude. She didn't just cap.
She was never married to the first guy, and if she has the faith, like we, you know,
this guy chose
that a lot
still.
of people do.
Yeah.
You can't. There is no divorce. That's not really an option.
And then you're
You
marked
make
as
it
a
work.
certain person.
Yeah, you're a pariah if
She's
you.
making it
I
work.
saw that off Johnny
What's
Cash's
that?
She's making it work.
Walk the
Yeah,
Line,
she's
so.
making it
She
work.
knows the situation she's in.
Greg kind of explained it in more detail, but that's the Frau Kurten's forgiving. He's going to strangle 2 more women between this attack and August 8th, when he meets Maria Hahn. So we're just gonna glaze right over these 2 stranglings. When he meets Maria Hahn, he says that he is out with no intentions of grooming or attacking a woman or man.
First red flag.
Say that again.
First red flag, right?
Yeah,
there.
exactly. I'm not according to Greg.
he
Yes,
tells
this
you-
seems too specific, but
What are you doing? Nothing.
Nothing.
Maria Hahn approaches him because he's such a fucking looker, as you've seen on the screen, I'm
Fox.
sure. And before he knew it, he had a date with her. Now this is he's playing the long con. He like, she talks to him and he's like, "Hey, baby, you know, let me take you out, bing bong."
In that in that sweet German accent.
Yeah, exactly. So
Truly is the love language of the world.
this is what blows my
And what
mind.
year is this again?
What's that?
What year is this?
We are in 1929.
Okay.
Yeah, 1929, 1930.
Yeah. So a few days later, they meet up and have a seemingly beautiful day in which they get lunch and a drink, walk around town, enjoy some chocolate, go and have a nice dinner, and then a walk down by the river.
There it goes.
At the river, things get a little frisky, and they make love on the bank.
Oh.
Yeah,
Sounds
right?
like an actual romantic.
That's what I said. Well, they have a
Holy
fucking
shit.
seemingly beautiful day. This is like
Notebook shit.
Bachelor number 1. What's your perfect date? And you read that, right? Like that's what I'm seeing
Bird,
here.
I'm a bird.
So after this, they walk across a meadow towards another bank. It was at this time Kürten claims to have decided to kill her. He lures her down to the bank that they were walking towards near some bushes and strangles her. Hang on for this one. She wakes up on her own, so he strangles her once more. Again, she wakes up. At this point, he stabs her in the head and the throat, but she is still alive. He stabbed her again in the chest, which he believes may have partially pierced the heart, but does not kill her. He claims that many times during the killing, she awoke and begged for her life in a feeble voice, but he did not spare it, and claims that it took her well over an hour to die.
What is that one show? The guy just like doesn't die. He just keeps getting hit. Like
I was trying to think of that while he was talking too. I know what you're talking about.
Oh,
There's like a movie or a show or
Yeah.
something where a guy keeps getting shot and they're like, "Go down," and he's like, you know, like he just keeps getting
Yeah.
shot and hit and like
That's got to
Neil
be the
Patrick
worst.
Harris?
Like everybody's like,
That's-
"Oh, if I'm gonna die, I hope it's fast. I hope it's peaceful."
yeah, that's the
And he's
worst
just like,
possible.
"Oh, she took over 1 hour to die."
That's the worst
What a fighter
possible.
though. But I mean, like you gotta. If he's
No,
not stopping
yeah.
after like 20 minutes of it, I'm like,
After
dude,
being
just kinda-
stabbed in the head, the throat, the heart, the chest.
what are you gonna do after that though? Like you're just gonna be staring at the world.
Obviously, drink a glass of water.
Yeah.
Hydration's key.
No, to see if
See if
it.
it goes.
Oh.
I got exactly what he was saying.
See, I'm not that. You know. I'm
So, upon returning to his home, his wife was asleep, but the following morning, she was very upset with him for staying out all night. He knew that he had to keep the body of Han from being discovered because he believed that his wife would finally connect him to his crimes. So essentially, he's like, she's kind of onto him now. He thinks he knows that she knows he's out fucking.
Yeah.
But he thinks if this body gets found today, and she knows I was out all night last night, the connections are going to be made. So the
He's
following,
just trying to buy time.
Not wifey,
right.
can't let her
The
know.
following day after work, so the body of Han stays out there all day. She was covered with some bushes, I believe. Like he covered her up with some branches. So that day after work, he went and buried Han over several hours. He claims the process was sentimental and beautiful as he caressed her hair and said a few words over her body.
What the?
Guy's the fucking epitome
Tears
of
and
the
everything?
worst human being of all time.
Just because
He-
she fought so much, she's like, you were worth it. You were.
Yeah, and like, why did he have to admit to all these extra details? He's just like, shut the fuck up and just give us what we
yeah.
need.
Because he didn't want to be seen as a cold, heartless killer. He did this out of passion because this is what love looks like.
Yeah.
Ah.
This
Damn.
is one of my favorites, and it makes me realize after all of this how much of an incel he was. But he got fucked. That's why. Here's the thing. He says, another attack in 1929 would be on a woman named Gertrude Schult. He openly asked her for sex. So he walks up and just says, "Hey, baby." She says no. So he takes out a dagger and says, "Well, die then," and stabbed and slashed her repeatedly.
What is it, Elder Scrolls? What the?
His new weapon of choice was the dagger because he thought he would throw off the police once more by switching from the scissors to the dagger. The woman didn't die. She got slashed at and stabbed
Oh, yes,
at. but-
she's been stabbed repeatedly. But it's a completely different stabbing
Yeah.
device.
Why is it also in the temple and heart? Shut up.
Unrelated.
So in November of 1929, he would come across 5-year-old Gertrude
No.
Alberman.
Ah,
Yeah.
dude.
He convinced the young girl to come home with him and eventually strangled her. When she fell unconscious, he stabbed her in the chest and temple 34 times. He then placed the body on a pile of nettles near a factory wall. After this, he would actually switch again to a hammer and kill several other women by very several means of seduction and murder. A large-scale investigation was opened into all of these murders, specifically that of the 5-year-old child.
So he's seducing these women and then killing them.
Hammer time.
I mean,
And
yeah,
then,
he's like convincing
like-
them to go out on the town with him, and I think it's just time for him to like be like, "Hey, babe, I gotta work late tonight," and like get his backstory, and then he goes out with them, tries to get them to have consensual sex with him. A lot of the times, it seems like he's got enough charm to where they do that.
It has a very Ted Bundy feel to it.
Yeah.
Maybe he was inspired, man.
I mean, it has that same kind of vibe because that's how old Teddy operated. You know, he was slick with it, and even some of the grosser dudes, again, like Richard Ramirez, like
He had
he
a
was
lot of fans once he was in prison.
well, but he was charming enough that you weren't immediately repulsed. You would hear what he had to say.
Except for his teeth.
Right.
Okay. So, some of the kills are starting to be connected despite the use of different weapons, and there is a hard line between those who believe it is one man and those who believe it is like a group or whatever the other belief is. I don't really... An entity is never something that like comes up in it, but we are, like Greg mentioned, right? Was it Greg? Someone mentioned, like, at a time where someone might be like, it was a specter, and everybody's like, well, shit maybe
man.
it was. I don't fucking know.
Seamus saw it, called it
I'm
out
no
by name.
scientist.
It's right there.
What the fuck is science? So at this time, the newspapers will provide him with a nickname because for them the story is probably much more interesting than when it's just one man doing all this shit, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So question number 12:
It sells, baby.
what is the nickname he is given? Is he A, the Dusseldorf demon, B, the vampire of Dusseldorf or Vampir, the monster of Helveg, or they actually didn't give him a nickname?
Ooh, trick question.
Dusseldorf demon, the vampire of Dusseldorf, the monster of Helveg, or they didn't give him a nickname. I know. I'm just like you said, Greg, bringing out the bangers. If you're gonna write quiz questions, It can't be like when you're in ninth grade geography and C is like, ask Mr. Williams the answer. It's like, really? There were three options.
Yeah,
Thanks,
there's like
Mr.
two
Williams.
obvious like duds.
All right, Bobby, what'd you say?
I don't know if I like my answer, but I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna say they didn't give him a name. They were just too stumped to what was going on.
What'd you say, Darren?
I'm gonna say
A, the Dusseldorf demon. He likes the alliteration.
Who doesn't love a good alliteration?
The newspapers dub him the Vampire of Dusseldorf. No points for anybody.
Damn.
That was the book I was having to hide from you guys, but it was fucked up. This is
I don't wanna touch it, bro.
the study copy I
touch
had.
it. It's like a fucking fucked up Hitler
But
from Wish.
yeah, it's bad. I don't want to give you any more answers, so don't look through too much of it. But that's what they start to look like when
I can speed read.
when your
Thanks.
boy gets thrown.
And
Yeah, exactly.
done. Got it.
There's there's drawings of stab wounds and stuff in here.
Dude, I don't want to see it, bro.
gross.
Like, I already got the image in my head, bro. Like,
Okay, so he is dubbed the
I'm gonna hide
Vampire
in
of
a locker.
Dusseldorf. The investigation would be such a large-scale event that by the end of it, over 9,000 people are interviewed and over 2,650 additional pieces of evidence are processed and studied. A lot of this is based on the 13,000-plus letters sent in by concerned citizens who believed they had information. This is pre-television. This is it's newspaper and radio. Like, this is how we're hearing about any of this. And 13,000 letters
13,000.
of people being like,
he
oh,
loved
I
to
think
be
I know
big.
something.
Yeah, he loved to make a name for himself in the.
Yes, and he's done it. It is during the investigation that police received 3 different letters claiming to know where the bodies of some of the dead women are. All of the letters are correct in the locations. It is determined that all 3 letters are written by the same man, and at this time...
I fucking knew it.
Finally, at this point, the opinion of the police is that these murders were all perpetrated by the same person. The 5-year-old would be... the 5-year-old would be his final... Although the 5-year-old would be his final attack, he would have a rash of non-fatal hammer attacks throughout 1930. Eventually, police began to zero in on Kurten, and he knew this. At this point, there was a large reward out for information leading to the killer. He decides that his wife should cash in on the reward and admits to the murders and rapes and tells her where to meet him. So he calls her and he's like, listen, you have to collect this reward. I'm the murderer. I'm the rapist.
That's how he lets her know. That's
Yeah, and he says, meet me here.
Kind of a little too late to save your soul, but like
his literal he said his thought process was that he could set up his family. Hey,
That's-
I'm going down, but at least I can leave them some money behind.
that's what I'm saying. It's a little too late to make good on anything that you've done. You're a piece of fucking shit, and you've been a piece of fucking shit. But
He didn't have kids though, right? Like,
No, not that I know.
Okay,
Not that
okay.
I'm
so
aware.
he's like, hey
saying
girl, you
taking care of his
stuck.
family, taking care of his
Yeah, he's like, you stuck through.
Yeah.
You were my Bonnie through this. In a sense, you didn't know you were my Bonnie, but you stuck with me even though I was doing all my crazy shit. So you know what? Here's some dough.
you
I
let me
gotta
have
go.
an extra wife or 6.
Yeah, I mean that was kick ass.
So he
yeah.
decides to tell her that there's a large reward. She says, meet me here. I think in her mind, she's like, fuck the reward. He's probably just going to kill me. So she contacts the police and relays the information of where to meet him.
Smart lady.
He was apprehended without event at gunpoint on May 30th, 1930.
Doesn't that get her the reward anyway? Because she gave the information that led to him.
I don't actually know, Greg.
I
That's
hope
a
they
really
gave it
great
to her.
question.
Because I feel like her information led to his capture.
That's
how
I'll
Crime
have- I'll have
Stoppers
to-
works.
I'll have to follow up on. So once he's apprehended, he is an open book. He admits to all of his attacks and murders, which will total 68 crimes, which include arson, 9 murders, and 31 attempted murders. He also admits to drinking blood from some of his victims, going so far in the Hahn case that he made himself vomit from the amount of blood he drank. He also admitted to cutting off the head of a goose to drink just days prior to his arrest because it had been so long since he had done it to a human, he felt like he needed blood. He claimed that each time he drank blood, he would reach climax.
That's
was
where the
a-
vampire comes from.
It was at this time Kurten I tried to avoid it. So
well,
you
know
guys,
what? You like did say about the blood sounds and shit.
I always try to put a little bit in there for you. Yeah. The answers aren't in there if you're really listening.
Damn it, that's why she take notes.
It was at this. See, but that's the thing. It's like the notes won't help you. It's always like some.
It's not a.
play
It's
on-
never a
If
question on
there's a
what's already
person taking
happened.
track of who wins now, I gotta be winning, bro.
What is the score now, by the way? I'm sorry.
Holy?
The score is
nutcracker.
1250 to 750.
Okay,
Down by 500.
Down by 500, but I will say, the last 2 questions, only one of you can score on. So
Sweet.
you score, you're catching up, and one of them, if you nail, it's 1,000 points.
Shit.
So
Even
you know what? I lied about the
Classic.
2. Only one of them is one of you can score. One of them is multiple choice, but you nail it, and it's for 1,000 points. Okay. He's drinking the blood, reaches climax. It was at this time Kurten would have a psychological examination by our boy Karl Berg.
Oh yeah.
During this psychological examination is when we get a lot of the confession in which this entire book is based. It's incredibly dry. It's not a great read, but it is a very in-depth case study on a very sick man.
When was it written? Do you?
The interview was in 1930, and I believe it was written sometime after his death. So let's just say for now, sometime after 1930.
Okay, I was just curious because I know the things that we think about in terms of psychology and
Are very different.
things have changed over the years. So if it was written in the last 10 or 15 years, that's very different than
This
if it was
is
written.
less looking through a psychology book and putting words to his actions, and more like, oh, this happened, and this happened, and here's why I believe that is.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like that's a little more like, and a lot of it is just almost a timeline.
Okay, that makes sense.
He breaks down a lot of crimes, even more than I did here, and it's mostly where I got kind of these crime breakdowns.
Okay.
But he doesn't even break down every single one. There's so fucking
Yeah, I was
many.
gonna say
so,
there's
and
a
this
lot.
is okay. So look, now that I'm done, I don't want to read this again.
No.
You join the $20 Patreon tier,
Dude, take it away.
and
from
this could be one of the books that you end
that
up
shit
with
out of here.
mailed to you right here from the Serial Chillers.
Fuck, you got that shit too close to me, bro.
Good thing I can't read.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Do you have like a bed I can hide under?
you got to go under the table, but Peter Kürten's under there.
Oh shit.
Bobby, I can't wait till the end because there's just like such a creepy fact about him that I
It's
just.
already been fucked up, bro. I'm like, I don't feel good, bro.
Okay, so in this interview, Dr. Berg finds that Peter's main motivation is sexual, as if we didn't know that.
Right.
Another fact that was pointed out by Dr. Berg was that the more brutal the murder meant the longer Kurten took to climax during that murder. So essentially,
quick
if he-
kill, quick come.
Oh shit.
well,
Or
exactly.
not
Like
at
if he
all.
came fast, he'd be like, "Oh, thank you," and you're dead. But if it took him 20 minutes to reach climax,
Oh.
he was going to
It's going
brutalize
off
you.
his
So
shit.
the torture was based on how long it took him, not the other way
'cause
around.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I was thinking maybe if it took him longer to torture you, it took him longer to. Okay,
I think it
get
was more like you
Like a
can't
punishment
die until
reward
I
system.
come. So, hopefully it's fast for you.
Bro,
Not as if they had any choice as to how it was going to happen, but
Right.
Pushing erectile dysfunction so much when that happens. Just don't ever come, bro. Please.
well, you'll just keep getting tortured forever.
Shit. That
So
shit's- damn
during
it.
the trial, Dr. Berg said several independent and other independent doctors examined Kurten, and he was deemed sane and fit for trial. During the trial, which began on April 13th, 1931, Kurten pled not guilty by reason of insanity to each of his 9 murder charges and 7 attempted murder charges. So despite him admitting to all of those other ones, these are the ones that we have evidence for and that can be proven beyond a shadow of a doubt. 9 murders, 7 attempted murders.
Damn.
He would be placed in a shoulder-high iron cage and have his feet shackled. The cage was a way to protect him from the angry relatives of the women that he had killed. The shackles would have held him in just fine. The judge wanted to make sure that they had a Peter to convict by the end. To counteract his insanity pleas, the defense would call to the stand 5 of Germany's most well-known and respected doctors and psychiatrists who would all, under cross-examination, say that Peter was aware of his decisions and the weight that they carried. The trial would last 10 days, and on April 22nd, the jury would retire to make a verdict. It took them 2 hours to decide on a guilty verdict for every single charge. Kurten didn't show any emotion when the verdict was read. He would later say in his final statement that he now saw his attacks as so ghastly that he did not want to make any sort of excuse for them. So like what? He's trying to repent now, right? Fucking fuckface.
Oh God. Yeah, you know what? Okay, nothing else to do.
Question number 13. If you can nail this, it is going to be for 1,000 points, but the closest to it's 250. So you can close the gap here. In what year did Peter Kürten die? In what year did Peter Kürten die?
The arrest was?
Oh man, you weren't listening?
Oh, okay. Got you.
Oh.
Is that a question about a question?
Yeah, but some questions I can't answer the questions even when you have questions about the questions. All right, Darren does need points here, so at least be the closest because we can get you close, and then this can be good. But if you nail it,
if he nails it, it's game over.
all right. Let's see what Bobby's got written.
Damn it.
Bobby says
1932.
1932. Darren says
1939.
1939. Darren is going to get the points. It's not 1,000. He is going to get 250 because on July 1st, 1937, Kurten.
Son of a.
I knew it was going to be
long.
long.
You were close.
I knew it was going to be long.
On July 1st, 1937, Kurten is served 2 servings of his final meal of Wiener Schnitzel, fried potatoes, and white wine. Not the Wiener Schnitzel we're thinking of fast food.
Chili dog?
That is a dish in Germany.
Chili dogs.
Okay. Darren, question number 14, guys. We need this. This is big.
Shit.
Only down by 250.
So, Darren, if you can get this and Bobby misses, it's a tie. We will have our first tie of the season. We'll go into an artistic challenge.
Artistic challenge.
If both of you miss,
I think I want it. I think I'm ready.
hey, it's not always the best drawer. Sometimes it's the
it's-
most creative.
I was gonna say most of the time it's pandering to me.
How well do you know Hella Greg?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say mostly it's pandering to Greg because he's the one who
and
chooses.
I'm not gonna be weird or anything, but I'm kind of a fan. So.
Okay, so there are many methods in which Bobby can win here. There's one method in which you can tie it. Question number 14. By what method was Peter Kürten executed? Is it A, a firing squad, B, the guillotine, C, hanging, or D, the electric chair, which had been introduced only 3 years prior? Firing squad, guillotine, hanging, or electric chair?
For what it's worth, the guillotine was used in France till 1970 something.
Can I ask one question?
Don't sway their answers.
I'm just saying.
Firing squad, guillotine, hanging, electric chair. You could totally ask a question. I may not have an answer for
Okay.
you.
So the electric chair came out 3 years prior, right? You said that.
Maybe I said that.
Yeah, you did say that.
Was that your question?
No, here it is. Where did the electric chair come out of? What country?
What the fuck kind of question? I don't know. Firing squad, guillotine, hanging, and electric chair.
Damn it, fine. I'm
All
fine.
right. So for ultimate suspense, Bobby, if you have this right now,
You win.
you win. Like, Darren cannot catch up to you. So I need to see your answer first. Bobby, was it firing squad, guillotine, hanging, or electric chair?
It was the electric chair.
It was the electric chair, says Bobby. Darren, what did you say?
Going firing squad.
Firing squad. I am here to tell you that unfortunately, Darren, that is not the correct answer. Bobby, you are today's champion.
Yes.
But not because you got it right.
I know. I had a feeling.
You
that.
also missed.
I knew it was from a different country.
Guillotine.
Feel free to throw
Was it
that
guillotine?
handshake in there. It was indeed a guillotine.
Damn it.
You guys know that this is like Whose Line Is It Anyway? The points don't matter. There is no prize. So congratulations. Pat on the back, Bobby. He believes he's got a winning record. I don't know. We'll find out when the historians finish their work.
Lewis, don't kill me.
I'm not saying that you don't. I'm just saying I don't. I for sure don't know. Yes. The following morning at 6 a.m., he walked under his own power to the guillotine, flanked by a psychiatrist and a priest. Just before having his head placed on the guillotine, he turned to the psychiatrist and asked if he'd still be able to hear after his head is removed.
Yes.
Because hearing the sound of his own blood gushing from the stump of his neck would be the pleasure to end all pleasure.
You know what? We're not even going to say anything. Just cut his fucking head off.
Dude, it wouldn't connect. It wouldn't connect to his lower body, right? It wouldn't just come out of nowhere. Like, the brain sends those signals.
Dog, it's the 1930s. We don't know that yet.
So
That's real.
When asked if he had any final words, Peter looked out and simply said with a smile, "No." The guillotine fell. Peter's head was removed. His body was taken and autopsied. Followed that, the brain would be removed and sent for study. In his body, the only physical abnormality that they could find was an oversized thymus gland, which is incredibly normal. Even his brain showed nothing abnormal. Okay, this is for you, Bobby. His head was then taken, bisected,
Wait, whoa, hold on.
and mummified.
What the fuck?
Shortly after the Second World War, it made its way to America and now resides in Ripley's, believe it or not, in Wisconsin Dells.
Why, Ripley?
Greg, if you could really quickly, we won't be able to throw this on the Streamlabs, but we'll put it on the Instagram and all that stuff. I should have gotten this. Just type in like Peter Kürten's mummified head.
Dude, it's like when a kid shows
Well,
you blue
don't
waffle.
look, Bobby.
Yeah, I'm sitting right here.
I mean, it looks like a mummified head, but it is
Right.
fucking fascinating.
It's in a jar.
I don't like that
got
shit.
that-
It's not in a jar.
It's not in a
It's
jar.
just, I mean, it might be behind glass, but it's just out in the open, big guy. This thing is not in liquid.
Oh, wow.
That is a true statement.
It is mummified.
There it is. Check it out, Bobby.
No.
Whoa.
Look, what is it? It's not going to hurt you. It's a museum exhibit, my guy.
Dude.
Oh, that is fucking disgusting.
So there is your
bro.
boy. Look, does he have any resemblance to the photo Greg's got over there on the...
I can see, what was that?
Dude, that's just like blue waffle,
Dordeldorf
bro.
vampire?
The
Blue
vampire
waffle
of Dusseldorf.
Dusseldorf. That looks like the Dusseldorf vampire
Yes,
right there.
Yes. All right, well, that is the end of that. Bobby,
That's a real person's fucking skull, bro.
congratulations.
It was.
Won.
I don't even feel like I won anything now.
Bobby's a winner.
Oh, nobody won anything today.
When I won, but hey, sometimes you're gonna take an L. If you make it a lesson, you can make it a W one day.
There we go. Inspiration from Bobby.
Say, but one of those was a J.
All right, guys, we got some goodbyes in business. Remember to give a follow on Instagram and TikTok, Serial Chillers Podcast on both. If you want to hang out and interact with us and other fans of the show, please join the Discord. We are very active there. Reach out to any of us, any of the founders you see floating around. Someone will get you the link. You can also go to serialchillerspod.com. I'm sure we have it there. We do, damn it.
Yeah.
Patreon is in full swing, so if you'd like to support the show and receive perks, go there. Donate as little as $1 a month to the cause. You can also get episodes one day early by giving $5 a month. We do have the $10,000 a month tier. It gets you tons of merch. And we'll fucking take you to Disneyland. So, think about it. You guys can also support the show by checking out our merch store, which doesn't exist yet, but by the time you hear this, there will be a link on serialchillerspod.com. Thank you, everyone who has given already to the Patreon. Let me give huge shout-outs to Donald from Bronson, Teresa from Glendale, Mike from Welford, Camp from Kennewick, Shayla from Indianapolis, and Nick from Grafton. Thank you guys so much for giving to the Patreon. We fucking love you, and I hope you know that. So a big thanks again to Bobby and to Darren for taking time out of their day to be with us. A little extra today. Sorry about that again, guys. But
Thank you.
Still on me.
I love this.
My bad, guys.
Anything
I
else you
love-
guys want to talk about? Or Bobby again, tell him.
Hold on, let's
I'll
see.
let
I
him go
think-
first, because mine might take a little bit.
No. You're going last because you won. So,
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
See, I was already in. That's what I was. It's all right. Yeah,
It's all right.
dude.
Go ahead.
Dang, we gotta get this guy a belt. I don't know how many he's won, but it's a few. No, I just want to thank you guys again, and everybody listening. Make sure you support these guys. This entertainment, second to none, right here. So love it. Thank you for having me on. I'm pass over Bobby.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Winner
Champion.
Champion won yet again. No. Real talk though. It was not consecutive wins, by the way. So, I mean, they're definitely throughout the whatever. I love this show a lot, and when you guys said you guys were bringing it back, it literally I felt like a little schoolgirl. I don't know why schoolgirl, but maybe
Because
fanboy.
they're giddy.
Yeah,
quite
they're giddy,
often.
So I was really hyped about it. It really brought, even though it's such a fucked up content, it really brought a happiness smile to myself.
I feel like you're touching on something that a lot of people that are coming back and joining us are saying is we just missed hearing you guys talk.
Yeah.
It almost could have been about anything. No,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
a Super Simpson show, but
Well, exactly. I went straight to there after you were done with
Or
this.
conspiracy theories.
And the conspiracy theory, yes. I just you guys are not soothing, I would say. I was saying it's more welcoming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was always the nicest thing that people said was, it sounds like we're just hanging out with our friends.
And I love that because you guys are that truly is what this was created for. This is how it came to be.
Yeah.
Was Greg and I hanging out on Xbox and just laughing until we almost piss our pants. And there would literally be times we lived 100 miles apart and we're just crying, laughing. There were times where we lived 2 blocks apart and it was the same shit. We were like, why don't we just record this? Went through many iterations and became this. We brought old friends back into our life. We brought people who Darren used to just be my boss, and now we're good buddies. We golf together, we hang out together. He's on the show.
Old friends, new friends, good
Same
friends,
and
bad
friends.
Yeah.
That's why it's there, and it's totally true. Sorry, Bobby, continue.
No, same. I was like, same.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were my boss at one point. But yeah, no, I'm a shameless plug now. Hey, you guys can catch me on Twitch at xb3rx. You can also catch me on Instagram with the tag right there. Everything else is connected, really cool. I'm doing a lot of cool new things. I'm coming out with my own podcast sooner or later, which I hope.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I can't. It's about motivation. It's a different side of the world.
Thanks, Bart Scott.
It's motivation, where the motto is more motivation. And just catch me doing flips and doing crazy shit. I can't wait to. Oh, forgot. This is the biggest one. Under B3R, you can check me on Spotify and Apple Music in about a month or so, and I'll have my own music coming out.
A month from now?
Yeah, a month from now.
So right now they'll be able to hear it then.
Yeah,
Holy
so
shit.
this will be
so like maybe
this will be out
around-
at the early November.
Yeah, I'll have at least one song out, one single out,
Yeah.
and I'll be revamping
This will be
my
out
whole
November
music.
11th. 11/11. This episode will come out.
Oh, I'm gonna have to make that a mission, bro.
So he wishes that
Yeah.
you would check it out.
Yeah, so check out either Moto or a Joji type vibe, which is kind of redone, called I haven't named it yet actually, so surprise. Tell me
There we
what it's
go.
called.
Well, and you guys, if you get connected through Bobby's social, it's connected right there. You'll be able to find it.
Oh,
there.
also thank you everyone. I didn't even know, Jesse told me the other day that you guys did like a little
Yeah, a few years ago,
fuse. Oh shit,
yeah.
But just to be
Bobby was
considered,
voted one of the. He got on the podium of top guests.
it's just cool. Honestly, it's just really cool. You guys are epic.
It's an
and
elite spot to be.
It makes me want to be really. I want to know. I'm in the Discord a lot more than you think. Just reading, honestly.
Bobby's lurking. You guys hear that?
Yeah, I'm lurking, dude, because it's just you guys are epic, and I never expected to have cool homies or friends from this, or even just people who think I'm cool. So that's
We out here, dude.
you guys
We
are
out
cool.
here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
And same goes for me. You guys can also find me on Twitch at Cromulent Jesse. If you guys want to connect in the most live way, that's the way to do it. I'm literally sitting there. You can talk to my face. All right. Well, with that, Greg, anything you want to throw out there? Closing thoughts, arguments?
No, I think I'm good.
Always eloquent and credible. Well then, for Bobby, Darren, Hella Greg, I am Cromulent Jesse, and remember, don't talk to strangers. Bye.
There will be music playing over this.
Yeah, we forgot to put intro music in our sound bar. So.
Well, I have. Did I tell you I have Clayton's song?